3,000 grinders, yeah, we climb so high. Splitting quality every day, reaching for the sky. Gaming world, beware, we got the winning vibe. Grinding through the night, can you feel the tribe? Controller in my hand, can't slow down this flow. Leveling up fast with every game will show. Top the leaderboards, yeah, watch the numbers rise. Eyes on the prize, we're aiming for the skies. We're grinding games all night, all day. From zero to hero, we'll pave the way. 3,000 strong, we celebrate. Grinding hard for a future great. Every click, every move, we break the mold. Adventures and pixel stories unfold. Together we conquer, nothing to fear. 3,000 grinders, let them hear. Wake up, game on, we never quit the race. Pushing the limits at a breakneck pace. Victory tastes sweet, fortune we chase. 3,000 grinders, we own this space. We're grinding games all night, all day. From zero to hero, we'll pave the way. 3,000 strong, we celebrate. Grinding hard for a future great. Wake up, game on, we never quit the race. Pushing the limits at a breakneck pace. Victory tastes sweet, fortune we chase. 3,000 grinders, we own this space. We're grinding games all night, all day. From zero to hero, we'll pave the way. 3,000 strong, we celebrate. Grinding hard for a future great. Every click, every move, we break the mold. Adventures and pixel stories unfold. Together we conquer, nothing to fear. Grinding hard for a future great. 3,000 grinders, we own this space. 3,000 grinders, we own this space.
Yeah, Sony swooped in, snatched up the crown. Xbox fans frown, games nowhere to be found. DualSense trigger shooters with some feel. Chiefs off the field, Phil dropping the wheel. Game over, y'all. PS5 stole the show. Xbox fanatics, time to let go. Microsoft dreams crumbling to the side. PlayStation rise, the king won't hide. Controller buzzing, vibrations legit. Halo's users quit playing out of luck, no grit. Cross-platform tales, bridges we couldn't build. Leaving green hills, lost players unfulfilled. Gears turning, but for who to claim? Sony's prize igniting that flame. Market shifted, X marks the void. PlayStation ploys left Xbox annoyed. Game over, y'all. PS5 stole the show. Xbox fanatics, time to let go. Microsoft dreams crumbling to the side. PlayStation rise, the king won't hide. Game over. Game over. Game past promise, broken and bent. Bethesda misstep, paying the rent. Kratos grins wide, God's favorite blue. Master Chief's missing, player one, where you? promise, broken and bent. Bethesda misstep, paying the rent. Kratos grins wide, God's favor blue. Master Chief's missing, player one, where you? Game over, y'all. PS5 stole the show. Xbox fanatics, time to let go. Microsoft dreams crumbling to the side. PlayStation rise, the king won't hide. Game over. Game over. Code me most. The code me most. Phil Spencer. The code me most. The code me most. The code me most.
The most important cloud. Yeah. Just buy a PS5 and you will see the level of quality. It's a game changer. Graphics to the gameplay. It's a whole new world, can't you say? They got Barrett and it's Cloud and Tifa. And days how they gonna beat ya. Now you can sign up for the Game Pass for $1 or get a PC to wait. But just buy a PS5 and be their date. Oh, PlayStation. PS5 and you will see the level of quality. It's a game changer. From the graphics to the gameplay, it's a whole new world, can't you say? I'm tired of the same old game, playing on repeat. Gotta break free, gotta find something sweet. Then I heard about a brand new thing, a gleaming dream. PS5, it's the answer. The level of quality, it's a game changer. Graphics to the gameplay, it's a whole new world, can't you say?
Oh yeah, what's up, grinders? How you doing out there? Oh man, whoa baby. Yes, a big musical interlude to start off the Gaming Grindhouse episode 198. That is a 1, that is a 9, and that is an 8. My goodness, my goodness. And you can see from the grinds board, we have a busy show. So hit that like button, grinders. We're on our way to 200 episodes of the Gaming Grindhouse. Incredible. They've been doing it. I can't believe we're at 200 and we're over 3,000 subs. We're going on to almost 450 members. We got to get to the next emoji. We are rocking. We are cooking. So we're growing. Phil's not, but we are. It's coming. So hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. That helps out a lot. It shares it out. It gets more grinders. We're recruiting grinders. As Xbox fades away, people start realizing that what we're saying here and what we see here, the grinders see, this is we've been saying what's been going on. And they need a place to vent and grind their gears. And that's what this channel is meant to be. It's the grinding gears. You have something to say, you come into the chat and you say it. You may get an emoji. You may get a like. You may be called different names. Like our good friend Xbox Hot Tour and True Virgil licking those balls. But it's all good news here at the Gaming Grindhouse. So hit that like button, grinders. This is the house of emojis, the grinds board, the best.
Stop. Enough.
No, Huggy, we will not stop. The best Gaming Grindhouse soundboard this side of gaming entertainment. That's what this is. This is gaming entertainment. And Ron M knows what to do with the VIPs rolling in here with the VIPs.
Welcome to all VIPs.
He gets a song. Hit him, Ron.
Welcome to all VIPs Ultimate Grinders.
Hit all of those buttons.
Let's go.
Gamer entertainment. That's right. That's what it is. Oh man, what did that? We're gonna have videos to go over, reaction videos. Man, it's gonna be huge. And if you missed the show from yesterday, we covered the Death Stranding 2 release date. Did a special show. Shout out to, and wait a second, by a second, Ron M, shout out those VIPs. If it, as a VIP, you get awesome emojis. So keep a lookout to the other VIPs that have been here.
Whatever your name is,
2 years.
get ready for the big surprise.
Welcome, Rengoku. Holy shit, we got Demon Slayer. Shout out to you, man. I hope you're excited for the game. I can't wait. My son got me hooked. We're going, man. And the game comes out this year. The movie, we got Rengoku. We're ready to cook. We're ready to cook here. Hit that like button. Subscribe here if you're new. You can chat. And also, just know here, ready? You guys, when you hear certain things, look at what the other members here. Members for 4 years, look at the other members. There's certain songs that trigger emojis. So be on the lookout for those songs as we go through here. So we're coming up with new ones as we go, actually. So as we're cooking here comes everybody. Adam Betas in the house. We got Adam Betas. You got him. You got Felipe, Eric. Welcome. VIPs. Enjoy. As a VIP, you got those emojis. You also get some exclusive music that's been dropping your way. So you got the music access. You get later access. the ultimate grinders get day one access. And then you get emojis, and also there's some special videos that we did for members only. Like, you know, some behind the scenes things of the Gaming Grindhouse, and we'll do another members only video soon. Show some 3D prints. I do a lot of that stuff, and show some cool gadgets that I got my hands on. So welcome as a VIP. I keep it coming. I'm always coming.
25. It's coming.
Kingdom coming. And we're rocking. So let's go. So if you missed this show yesterday, did over about an hour and a half. We went over the Death Stranding 2 release date, which came out on a Sunday. South by Southwest, Hideo Kojima dropped an incredible trailer. Absolutely. I played it yesterday fully through, just watched it in awe. And we rocked to just talking about quality. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. And June 26th, they were played earlier, 24th. It's a Thursday, actually. It's releasing. Craziness there. And it's just like, you know, and now they got kind of the next few months are rolling out with PlayStation, and they're cooking. They're cooking. And we still don't know what up with Ghost of Yotai. And one thing that came up after the fact, I just wanted to show this. Shout out to Thrash. Thrash is going to be doing an analysis on this thing. So go check him out on his new channel, King Thrash. Shout out to him. But he just pointed this out. This was the clip of Death Stranding 2 when they first revealed it. And then this is the one from yesterday. Dude. There you go. They updated the gun to make clearer. Like, yeah, that's they've updated. So he's going to do a before and after on there. So check him out over there. But that was something I thought was pretty damn cool. But man, oh man. And this is some more details here. Just wanted to share with the Death Stranding 2 that we didn't cover last night. Here it is. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Oh, man. It's on the beach.
On PlayStation.
That's right. On PlayStation platform. June 26th, 2025. And then there you go. They got the special editions, the collector's edition. So that big one that I showed yesterday, pause. The collector's edition is $229. That has the statue and all the goodness with that one. So that's the big one. And then there's the deluxe edition that gets it early, and then the standard editions are $70. But there it is, one place to play. Quality games. So just make the games and people will come. That's it. And I went on a whole discussion about everybody's so concerned with the where these games are, and just make the what, and whoever gets it, gets it. PlayStation gets it. That's where they will go to play the game. And that's it. That's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. And if you don't like it, guess what?
You're my number one customer.
Go make a game that people care about. Yo, hell must have froze over. My goodness, my goodness. X Hawk 2 with the $2. Somebody must have got this man's account. Dang, I've never seen an X Hawk 2 super chat in all my years. But I appreciate it, X Hawk 2. You're welcome here. We called him PC X-Hawk. I don't know. But now he says that it does not look better than Hellblade 2. Oh, man, X-Hawk 2. Man, I don't know why you just paid $2 to hear your song. But we're playing it, or we're gonna have to play your song. So thank you for your $2, X-Hawk 2, with that chaos about it's better than Hellblade 2. Oh, man, oh, man. It doesn't look better than Hellblade 2, X-Hawk. Oh, man. I thought we were progressing a little bit, but I guess we're not. Oh, goodness gracious. How can you say Hellblade 2 look better than that? Hellblade 2, did you played it? You played Hellblade 2 where you just walk? This was an open world with avalanches and stuff. You know what? One more for those in the back while I go get the song. For those in the back, let's just have it running just a little bit, because I want to just kind of match this up here. Where is that? The Death Stranding 2. What is it? Death Stranding 2 trailers. Not 1, 2. Here we go. Just for those in the back. We're gonna run here. He's saying that this looks better. Look at this dude walking around here. Hellblade 2 looks better than this. Oh man. He really needs to get the eye. I think people are spitting on you, not spitting on that thing. I think they're spitting on your eyes because your eyes must be blurry with all this shit. I can't believe this.
Oh no! We suck again!
This craziness going on here. But we'll get you. We got you. We got you here. But look at this. Look at the scale. And this is what I was talking about yesterday. I don't want to go too much into it because I talked about it yesterday, but look at the scale of this thing. Look at all the stuff that's going on now. These like it's crazy. Man, oh man. Toby's a little disappointed with that collector's edition, dude. It's expensive, dude. It is. It's up there. But this is yeah, man. Look at this. I want to see where's that avalanche part because that was wild. And look at these boss. Look at these boss fights now. Some crazy stuff going on. He's Glazed Hawk. Yep, that's right. I think it's time. I didn't think it was gonna be this early before we play the song, but X-Hawk Tour, you got it. Here you go. Oh man.
The Xbox glaze and the glaze at Xbox Discord to spread PlayStation.
If we're looking at X-Hawk right now, he looks like he's doing this. I got him right here. X-Hawk. Oh man, not like this. Oh no. You in that Discord? Oh, you better not be in that glazed Discord. He got that. Hellblade 2 is better, dude. Nobody's playing Hellblade 2. Man. I got one more. Man, your super chat's the one that just keeps on giving. Hold on. Oh, man, X-Hawk. Oh, like this. Oh. X-Hawk. Yo. Go tell the 24 people that they go tell those 24 people on Hellblade 2 that they look better than Death Stranding 2. Go tell those 24 people. It's the dev's parents. Tell the dev's parents. Oh, there's 24 people. Oh my goodness. The game peaked at 3,900 people. Holy crap.
Prepare ship! Prepare ship!
There you go. Go tell those 24 they're not missing anything. That's 24 less people that played Death Stranding 2. 24 people. In 24 hours, there was only 40 people. Oh, man. Oh, man.
I can go directly to Black Nuts.
I have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're going to love my nuts. Watch this. You can do everything.
All right. Well, you and your, I guess that's 23 if you count X-Hawk. X-Hawk, enjoy with your 24 people. They won't be missing out. Let's see what Digital Foundry says. Oh, yeah. Because we trust those clowns. Oh, man. That's a whole goddamn 3-ring circus with Alex Bugaga from the Glazed Discord. Oh, shit. But hey, look how incredible this game is. I don't mean to interrupt with the glaze, but my goodness. Yeah. This trailer was kick-ass. Go watch the analysis from yesterday. It was kick-ass. And oh, man. That's right. That's right, Eric. 24 people, all more people that play in Concord. That is right, because Sony pulled that piece of shit, I guess, from its store because nobody wanted to play it. But that is right. That is, you might as well keep, yep, that's right. I don't know whose favors they're doing by keeping those 24 people happy, but I guess you're right. That is correct. Concord has been pulled. But I don't know how long that Concord joke will work out when they released Astrobot as Game of the Year, and nobody's picking up these games on PC. So PC is not saving them. You know, we'll talk about that too. You know, this whole where the games go and all this other stuff. Microsoft's been doing it for 6-7 years. That huge audience on PC, has that been saving them? Because look where they are now. I don't know, man. 24 people are happy, though. I beat it. 26 yawns. 26 yawns. I beat it in 26 yawns. So anyway, let's get cooking on some of the topics here at the Gaming Grindhouse. What do we got? I didn't even see what the hell we have next. Oh, yeah. So now, one of the things that came up And I can't even find my man, the grinds board is getting huge right now. I'm listen. I won't. Is Xbox still going? Is he still rocking? Oh no. That's right. That is the one. So anyway, let's get into the cooking over here of the topics here. So we got the first thing. The first thing here is, and hit that like button, grind. This apple coming on me. It's all fun. It's all fun and games. It's all about the games. So we got PSSR upgrades. So Cerny came down from came out of his world, and he stepped down to talk to everybody about PSSR and about the new FSR4 that AMD has been talking about. And they just brought up the FSR4 that's coming out and their new graphics cards that displayed. So let me get to this article here. And you know, when Cerny speaks, people listen, right? I don't think they do. But when Cerny speaks, here he comes. So here comes the Cerninator. Cerninator's in the chat. Cerninator's, here he comes. We call Mark Cerny. Well, you know what we call him here, right? Like, let me just get the we got him here. Here, let me get Mark Cerny up here. All right, here we go. All right, where's Cerny? Okay. All right. What's going on over here? All right. Did I show yet? Okay, here we go. Wow, I can't believe the Post picked this up, but yeah, here he is. Mark Cerny. They did an interview with him at the New York Post. And he decided to talk about the PSSR. This is a pretty big news. Pretty big news here with the wait a second. The hell did that with the pop-ups? Pretty big news here. With the New York Post picking up about PSSR. It is crazy. The Cerninator once again dropping facts. And oh shit, this is not him. Hold on. That's a mistake. That is not Mark Cerny. Made a mistake. There he is. Sorry, I got the right article up here. Sorry. Wrong article. Sorry about that. There's the Cerninator. Man, it's pretty stalking. Dana Carvey and Mark Cerninator. I don't know. Gaming goth, we call him. Gaming goth. But there he is, Mark Cerninator. There he is. Talking about FSR4 and the PS5 Pro is the next evolution of PSR. So the RDNA 4 upscaler is the first result of the AMD Sony Project Amethyst collaboration. So what he speaks here, and this is the kind of paragraph here, is that the neural network. Oh man, we're talking Terminator 2 style right here. And training recipe for FSR4's upscaler are the results of the Amethyst collaboration, Cerny told us. As end results are excellent, it is more advanced approach that exceeds the crispness of PSSR. I am very proud of the work of the joint team. So that's the quote that people are running with. Go, it's his doppelganger. That's right, it's his doppelganger. Hit the like button. Dana Carvey, Mark Cerninator. So he says here that the quality of the FSR, so Project Amethyst that they're working on. But this is what he says here. He goes on to says, however, it's going to take some time to see the new technology migrate across the PlayStation 5 Pro. Our focus for 2025 is working with developers. Now, why doesn't my touchscreen work? Oh, what happened? I can't zoom in. Bad news. What is going on? Our focus 2005 is working to develop to migrate PSSR into their titles. In parallel, though, we have already started to implement the new neural network on the PS5 Pro. Our target is to have something very similar to FSR4 upscaler available on the PS5 Pro for 2026 titles. As the next evolution of PSSR, it should take the same inputs and produce essentially the same outputs. Doing that implementation is rather ambitious and time-consuming, which is why you haven't seen this new upscaler on the PS5 Pro. So, PSSR is getting an upgrade, and it's going to be similar to what they've been working on with the Amethyst, which I am sure. And again, I just think the PSSR is a name that Sony has used, because remember, the PSSR has the PS5 Pro, when Sony talked about it, has hardware in there for this upscaler. It was a hardware driven thing for the PSSR. That's the difference with the Pro having this upscaler. And the fact that they're going to take some of the stuff from the FSR 4 and put it into as they upgrade to games that you're going to see in 2026. Now, Grinders, what games do we know are coming out in 2026? Intergalactic, right? That was slated for there. And I keep getting this game wrong. Solar. What the hell is that one? Sono? Whatever, from Housemarque's game. Saros. My God, I don't know why I call him Solos. I think I'm watching too much wrestling with Solo. I'm gonna Saros and possibly Wolverine, Michael. Thank you. So 2026 may see you'll upscale it, so similar to the FSR 4 upscaler next year. Saros, thank you. I don't know why I want to say Solos or Solaris. I don't know. They should just named it something else. This can confuse the hell out of me. But that game already and Intergalactic are stated for next year, and possibly Wolverine. So, speaking about FSR 4, they stack up the upscaler to non-FSR 3.1 along with DLSS, which DLSS is still really good. That's probably the best there. I use it on my PC, and it really is. I think it's preferred way of going. But the FSR 4 is catching up. And that's what they were talking about, because they just released their 9070s and 9070s XTs. So he says, what we're targeting, we believe we can achieve it. He says, the peak performance number of the PS5 Pro is 38-bit tops without sparsity, which compares very well to the recent release AMD GPUs. We don't believe sparsity is useful for this particular upscaling algorithm. There goes Cerninator talking his futuristic tech. He goes, our DNA 4 and the hardware in the PS5 Pro are completely separate designs, which is why I speak in terms of re-implementation on the PS5 Pro when I talk about the new upscaling network used in FSR 4. I'm definitely looking forward to the future with code-developed hardware features for machine learning that will dramatically increase the interoperability there. So you can see they are taking parts, working closely with AMD in the Amethyst project. They are taking parts of what it is FSR 4 and implementing it in PSSR 2. So, PSSR. You notice when they said PSSR, I am sure they're going to have a PSSR 2.0, 3.0, PSSR 1.5. I am sure Sony's going to brand it that way. I am sure when they have their next console, their PS6, they're going to be like, oh, and this is implementing PSSR 2.5 or 3.0. A new ups, and I'm sure that's the way they're going to brand it. So basically, it's their hardware implementation of something similar to FSR, and it's nice to know that they're working with them. And that, I think the main takeaway, he speaks in binary, exactly, yeah, boy. And one with the two, he goes, it only makes sense for PSSR to use FSR 4 features. Exactly. And the one thing that I would take away from, his interview here and what he's saying, and then we'll go into this one, is that with the PS5 Pro, they are keeping up with the stuff that's going on in the PC world, which is good, because traditionally when you have a console, it comes out and it's that fixed piece of hardware. Developers just get better with it, but really the tech kind of doesn't really upgrade along with PCs. Here comes the new graphics cards, and consoles are kind of left behind, and you got to wait for the next console to kind of go out there. What's nice about this is that in the current development of what's coming to the new graphics cards for AMD with this upscaling of FSR 4, they're able to implement that and comparable, as close as he's saying they can, to what's going on there. So they're kind of keeping up with what's going on with, at least in the AMD side, with the technology. and their own PSSR, which I am sure they couldn't brand it as like AMD's, FSR, blah, blah, blah. So they branded it with theirs, and they have their own custom hardware, because that's what he said. The Pro has custom hardware for it. He says here there are two goals, one shorter term and one longer term. The shorter term goal is to co-develop the neural network architectures and training strategies for game graphics. We're stronger together than apart, so it makes a lot of sense to combine some of our resources when tackling these problems. And because we began this collaboration in earnest in late 2023,
You're my number one customer.
when PSSR development was wrapping up, I'm happy to say there have already been results. The longer term goal, these are all quotes from him, and when Cerny speaks, they typically come true. The longer term goal is to work together to create a more ideal hardware architecture for machine learning, something capable of processing the neural networks needed for game graphics at high speeds. The PS5 Pro was a wonderful learning experience for us at Sony Entertainment, and of course AMD has an incredible amount and acknowledges the multi-generational RDNA roadmap. Again, it just makes sense to combine these expertise. Then he says here, now let's be clear, this technology has uses beyond PlayStation, and it's about supporting the broad work in machine learning across a variety of devices. The big win is when developers can freely move their code from device to device. So again, it's all about the developers. Developers. That's what it's about, and making it easy for them. Sign my ass. Oh, there he is. He's in here.
Great ass!
With the Seek 100, he goes, just imagine sorrows in PSSR with FSR 4 Pro version 5 SSSSSR. I'm feeling the FSSSSR glaze. Oh, man, he's feeling the glaze. Oh, we're going to be at that glaze.
The Xbox glaze.
Oh, he's feeling. Thank you so much, Sign My Ass. We'll hit you up with that glaze. Get him. Oh, we see Aaron here. Aaron, there we are. There he is. Aaron's photo. Glaze him. Oh, we got a wanna. There we go. We got you. We hit you with the glaze. Thank you so much for the Seek 100, man. Really appreciate it. We're on our way too. All right. No more glazes. Come on, go ahead. The glazes in my ear. Just keep you listening. There's a goal today. We're gonna release a song if we hit the goal of the 10 super chats of 5 tattooed promises. Yes, that's the new song that'll be released. You'll hear the preview of it at the end of the show if we hit that goal. So there you go. But yeah, it's just nice that it's going along again. Super tech wise, as long as the games look incredible, and like we saw with the Death Stranding 2 trailer, FSRs, PSSRs, assholes. You know what? It's nice. It's very interesting with the tech talk. What I took away is that I am glad that they're working closely with AMD and moving along, and that the PS5 Pro with their PSSR or whatever kind of upscaling technology and machine learning they have is growing and is moving along with the new graphics cards. So it's sort of like a little bit of a future proofing to them in the next couple of years as it evolves. That's my takeaway. So I think that's really nice to know as this kind of technology will, because we've seen really good implementations of it, and we're seeing it in the current games now, like in Kingdom Come. We're seeing it in a lot of games where the Pro is really showing the peanut butter and jelly of gaming, the best of both worlds. It's giving you that good clarity that you get from quality mode with the performance mode things. Even in Monster Hunter Wilds, that game was rough, man. That game is running rough, especially on PC. And you go look and see what it's doing, dude. Yeah, and I agree, Mango. PC HDR is still shit. It's a mess. Yeah, some games support it, some don't. You got to like toggle it and customize it every single time. You're right. Like the PC HDR. I was just doing a Cyberpunk with it, dude. Brian says he smells a spinoff. No, know what I think, Brian? I think that what this is, I think that they're letting you know what the next couple of years of PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be. But I think also they are kind of alluding to what may be in the next PlayStation. That's what I think. I think as they're moving ahead with this stuff. That's what I think. Yeah, I agree. I think this is not all only in the PS5 Pro, but it's nice to know that the Pro is not just sort of this finite device of a little bit more power and they're just going to cruise on that. It's nice to know that the Pro is going to continue to evolve and support. And what's great is that their games, he's saying next year, that are going to run pieces of what FSR 4.0 runs. And if you remember, dude, if you remember back when these games were released, everybody's like, oh my god, they're running FSR 3 and Sony's running FSR 2.5 and all this other crap. You know what I mean? Everybody was complaining about it. Listen, whatever Sony wants to brand it as, we've seen it in action. It works. Like, you look at Final Fantasy 7, you know, there it is. It's the peanut butter and jelly. That's what I'm calling it. You getting, and what I like since I got the Pro is that I don't need to make a decision. Like, it's basically set it and forget it. You put it on Pro mode or put it on there, and that's the best mode that you're gonna get from there. It's gonna give you the best clarity and the best frame rate. If you want more frame rate, like a 120, then you can put that mode on there. But really, the base mode, the Pro mode, is delivering in both. You're not like having to compromise, going, oh, look how good it looks, and then you got to play it in 30 frames. And then it's like, oh man, I want this. Look how great the speed is of the frame rate. Oh, but it looks fuzzy. And it's like, and you're constantly switching back and forth. With the Pro, you don't have to do that. And that's so far in my short time owning it since it released, that's been the benefit to me. I just turn it on, put it on Pro mode, and there it is. And it works. And that's good. So we will see. Oh, it was FSR 1.5? Josh, was it that? Man, I don't even know, dude.
You're my number one customer.
Dude. I know they were complaining about somebody was running 1.5 and 2.0 and all this other crap. Man, was that long ago? They made that many? Oh, maybe so. Could be wrong. I don't know. I just remember people fighting about that stuff. Yo, Great Ass coming back with the 100 Seek. He goes, previous message was a joke. I agree with you, Jez. That seeing these tech collaborations is great, but it's funny with all the abbreviations in the SI, etc. Oh, no, I totally agree, man. Nah, it's seriously, yeah, it's all... You know, it is, they know what they're talking about. You know, and if we see results, and thank you again for the super chat. Hey, if we're seeing results, that's all that matters as consumers and gamers on that stuff. So, but the takeaway is that at least they're working together and there's going to be some sort of evolution. At least we're going to see, like he said, in the PS5 Pro as soon as 2026. And it shows, and exactly, and Jack, I agree. They're showing the dedication to PSSR, but it's their branded PlayStation. It's going to be their kind of spin. They're going to be using definitely what baseline FSR stuff, what's going on there, but they branded it to their own machine learning because they're going to have some sort of marketing trade name and their own kind of spin on that stuff. Because again, they got to make it PlayStation something. And then I'm sure they're going to say, now, once we all know what this PSSR tech is, because again, it's still rather new, considering that it's just in the Pro and it's not really hugely advertised. And you know, it's not like what these graphics cards are doing where they're slapping on all these upscalers and stuff. Sony, they just mentioned it with their Pro. I think as it becomes more prevalent and we see more examples of it and moving forward, especially in 2026, and we see some implementation of it, they're going to be trying to name it PSSR 2.0, you know, 2.5. And I'm sure that's going to be a kind of an allure to go, wow, they got better upscaling on the PlayStation 6. You know what I mean? Like one of those things, marketing things too. We'll see. You know, speaking of marketing stuff, this came out of the blue, and this just shows again their support and what they want. Ba-boom. An Astrobot PlayStation bundle, dude. Own the mothership, they said. Own the mothership. Awesome. This is what you do when you have games of the year. When you have quality games, you put it with your console to buy with your console. Man, you get a whole bunch of Astrobot with your PS5. No Pro bundle, but the PS5 bundle with the Astrobot. Now again, it would have been cool. Sony again. I gotta give you an L. I gotta give Sony a little L. You should have put that Astrobot controller in there at least. Shame on you. Herman, get in here. Yes, 3 buttons undone. Herman, why didn't you put the Astrobot controller in here with the Astrobot bundle? We got to make money and save money, and you will buy the accessories. Oh shit, Herman, it's a business. I'm running a business here. Who do you think pays for my yacht? Oh shit, Herman dropping facts. He is on the yacht. But you could at least put the goddamn controller in there. But otherwise, dude, it is probably the coolest game to have with your PlayStation. Imagine booting up the PlayStation and playing Astrobot and just seeing in like a full game, but you get both Astrobots. That is crazy. You get the free one, and then you get this Astrobot. So you get Astrobotness with all the stuff. The only bot in town. But yeah, really cool, especially since like the accessories are basically part of the game, you know. So it's really cool, and it's available at select retailers globally starting this week. I don't know, did we get a price on it? Is it including, or are they making you pay for the game? Let me see if I don't know if I could find that out. Did we see that?
You're my #1 customer.
Did we see what the price of it is? Let me see. Let me see if I can find out the price of the Astrobot. Did anybody know? Price of Astrobot PS5 bundle. I don't know if they said it yet. So what they're saying, it says, as of today, March 10th, the price of the Astrobot PlayStation 5 bundle depends on the console version, disc or digital. So the disc version, Walmart lists at $579, though some sources suggest it'll be around $449. Digital version, Walmart offers it for $509, while reports indicate it may be $399. So I think Walmart is trying to get a bunch of hooligans on there. So it sounds like it may be targeted price of $449 and $400 and $350. So it doesn't look like, we don't know the price yet, but it doesn't look like that they're making you pay for the game. Like the game's just kind of in there. It's for a $50 discount of the games. So they're looking at the suggested is $449 for the disc and $400 for the digital, which is awesome if they're just giving the game in there. It is a great game in the bundle with the controller. I think it's great. I do think it's great there with that one. So let's get that. Is that what I see? Hold on. Am I? Oh my goodness, yo! Somebody take the phone away from X-Hawk Tour. X-Hawk Tour, give the phone back to your parents. You're spending their money. Stop it, X-Hawk. Give it back to your mom and dad. Somebody got to take the phone away from him. He's spending their money. He spent $5 again. And now he's saying Digital Foundry said the PS5 Pro isn't that much of an upgrade. Flopflation. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, he paid for it. So, X-Hawk Tour, before you give the phone back to your parents, take a listen to this.
Can you goggle my balls? Goggle my balls in your jaw. This is the remix. This is the remix. Can you goggle my balls? Goggle my balls in your jaw. This is the remix.
You're gonna love my nuts. Watch this.
I can go directly to Black Nuts.
There you go, X-Hawk Tour. You got all the nuts. I gave you all the nuts sound clips. There you go. Thank you again. And tell your parents thank you for their contributions to the Gaming Grindhouse. I appreciate it. So, next coming up, and I'm sure X-Hawk Tour, if he didn't get the phone taken away from him yet, he's going to probably super chat about this one too. Tell me how much this sucks. So, there's news of Intergalactic. So more news on Intergalactic that showed up today. And let's go by way of Shinobis. Not Sega Shinobi, but the Shinobi on the Twitters saying Intergalactic. Here we go. And I can't zoom in. I'm very upset. I don't know what's going on. I am not unplugging anything. But let me just do a quick check to see if I could fix my setup here. Maybe somebody did. No, it's my main display. I don't know why I can't use touch. And I can't zoom in now. Now I'm upset. So, in the Creator to Creative video series, Neil Druckmann and Alex Garland, 28 days later. So, here we go. Recap. Here's some news. It takes place 2,000 years in an alternate future that deviated from the 1980s. Oh, nice. I'm already liking that. Good. Twisted Sync, you can read it. I'm getting old. I can see this thing. Oh, I'm liking this in the 80s. Naughty Dog spent years coming up with and detailing the timeline. Druckmann jokes that, quote, we made a game with The Last of Us 2, and we made certain creative decisions that got us a lot of hate. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people hated it. Gollum quips, who gives a shit? And exactly. The joke is how you know what. Let's do something that people don't care about as much. Let's make a game about faith and religion. This new religion pops up because of becomes prominent where there's altered timeline deviates. Spent years building this out of this religion from an original prophet and how it changed and evolved over the centuries. The religion takes place on the planet of Semperia, when then all communication stops. Wanted to make a game about being lonely. So many games we've had have been that there's ways that an ally with you talking really want you to be lost in a place and you're really confused about what happened here and who are the people here. What is the history? No one heard of Semperia in 600 years. Jordan, the main character, has to figure out what happened if she hopes to ever escape. Bonus on the side, Alex Garland thinks The Last of Us is better than 28 Days Later, which I can't wait for the new movie, 28 Years Later. It's going to be friggin' awesome. I love that series. That series is awesome. So yeah, that is this. And so it sounds like you're not rocking with a crew. It's 80s space, and you're landing on a planet and not knowing what the hell went on there. It sounds a little bit to me like a little Event Horizon-ish, which is my favorite horror movie ever. Like you just land on this planet and know what the hell's going on. And your crew would disappear. Nobody heard of the planet in 600 years, and there was some sort of religion stuff going on there. Dude, that sounds a really cool premise. And he's right. Like, this is something that's brand new characters. They could do whatever they want now. And this is where I say, like, I'm glad that they're taking something else here. And, like I go back, the Blade Runner off planet. Yeah, that does, but it sounds really good. But what's good is that they're not tied into the tropes of Uncharted or the story elements of Uncharted, this by doing something new. They could start fresh with a new character and new experience and just kind of go on whatever they want to do and create that new world for us. We don't have these expectations of, well, this character can't be doing this because in the last game they did this. So it's great to see that they got the freedom now by going with a brand new and space nonetheless. Uncharted, a lot of the stuff that Naughty Dog did
You're my number one customer.
Was really based on reality or action and just kind of not reality, but it was grounded in like Earth and here and like really just like visceral and spectacle. But there was a little bit of mysticism in the Uncharted stuff. But this is full on sci-fi. So it'd be great to see the sci-fi there. And it'll be awesome too if there's any ties to like any characters or something like that. That will be pretty interesting as well. Sign my ass with the 20. He goes, "It's turbo time." That's right, man. They're gonna turn this up, man. I'm excited. The trail looked damn cool to it, and the fact that they are have the freedom. And it was one of the criticisms that I had, like, Playground working on Fable, like, there's a certain expectation when you put the name of a franchise on there, and they're gonna have to deal with that, and they're gonna say, well, it's our version of Fable, our version of Albion, and it's tough. Like, it's tough when you do that stuff, because now, instead of just making like an RPG and that they wanted to make it something else, by naming it part of the franchise, now there's an expectation. And do you meet that? Do you shake it up? Like, that was always the problem with Halo. It was like, well, we're going to piss off the old people that want to play the game in traditional senses, and then we want to spin it on its head for new people, and you get into this tug of war. What's nice is that they don't have a tug of war. They have a brand new franchise, a third pillar to their studios, and now I'm excited for it. This is going to be awesome. And this is supposedly coming out in 2026. Working on it for some time. And then also going back to the previous thing we spoke about, it's going to have some elements of FSR 4 and some upgrades of PSSR in 2026. Cerny says. That's what Cerny said. So that's a little bit of news that we got from it. I'm hoping later this year, maybe at Summer Games Fest, because they kind of owe, Jeff Keighley kind of owes us one since he announced the stupid, when they announced the whole factions getting canceled and the factions showed up on there. Maybe during the Summer Showcase, maybe they show something like, not Summer Showcase, but like the Jeff Keighley Smuggling Grapes Fest. Or we see at the Game Awards, maybe we see the gameplay for it. Or who the hell knows? They'll drop it on a goddamn Sunday like they did with Death Stranding 2. Who knows?
25. It's coming.
But it's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. So that's coming on that one. But yeah, that was the only news I found on that. Yeah, which I thought was really cool to cover. Yeah. Keely should get all the Concords. That's right, the unknown. You should get all the Concords. So the other thing that came up, and man, somebody else has been cooking, but they've been cooking raw food. That's all I'm saying. Somebody else has been cooking, but it hasn't came off the thing, and that's been
It's not even pink, this is raw.
And Coop has delivered undercooked salmon.
It's been the bootleg off his rocker. Again, I can't believe what the hell has Windows Central turned into. It looks like a goddamn porn site with all those goddamn ads going on here. What are we doing here? My goodness. Look at this. Xbox could take over PlayStation. Xbox, this is what he wrote. This I would like to call this section. This is how do we get a W? In the search for W's, all they get are L's. That is the truth. Because they're trying to spin this whole Xbox putting their games every week. It's something new. Every week, it's something new. It is like, how can we make this look like Microsoft knows what they're doing? How can we make this look like that Xbox is going to win somehow or come out on top? And they're doing Spinnerooni's Booker T style, trying to come up with ways of how this W could win. Unfortunately, this was created 2 days ago before they just showed Death Stranding 2. So basically, Death Stranding 2 gave a bootleg slap to this article. But this thing of Xbox's take over PlayStation. Excuse me? With the Forza Microsoft account required. We are doing the account required again. Listen, they all do it. They all do it. Everybody wants you to log into their account. Dude, I just booted up Rockstar's game. Rockstar, whatever the hell they are. I don't know. It's not a big deal. But he's using it as a W here. Like, oh, man. So that means that they're going to quest for engagement. Listen. Quest for engagement. Has engagement shown any value in what Microsoft has been doing? They've been saying that 4 million players are playing Janky Jones. Nobody's buying it. And I can tell you the examples here. They've been talking about engagement numbers since 2017. More people to play. More people. More. I'm going to be touching 2 billion players. 2 billion players I'm touching. And what's crazy is they put their games on PC day one since 2017. Touching all those PC gamers. Trillions. Millions, whatever the hell they are. Putting their games on cell phones. Putting their games on iPhone, iPad, Samsung TVs, Amazon Fire Sticks. All that, all these years. And now they're sitting here going, we need to put our games on PlayStation. That shows you that all that engagement, how many people ate sandwiches in Starfield, doesn't mean shit. When people are not buying your games. When they're not buying the games, engagement's a nice number, but it doesn't mean they're all buying your game. And in order to run a business, you need money. And when Daddy says, Satya says, I'm not giving you money, Now you need to sell your game. You know? Because it's funny. It's like, you know, Microsoft's back in the business of selling games. They're going all out with a game that came out over 4 years ago to give you 5 days early access if you buy the $100 version. How do you do a 4 days early, 3 days early for a game that came out 4 years ago? Early access to a game that we released 5 years ago? What? They are trying to get every little piece of juice coming out of this lemon.
Customer.
That shows you how desperate they are to get money back. Like, doesn't that point out their actions are speaking more than this whole engagement shit? So, we're gonna log in and their dominance. Dude, dominance? What are you talking about? I said this was before Death Stranding 2 got shown. These are all these Microsoft games. Honestly, right now, they're nice to haves. They're like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. Because you want to know why? They were never anything to go buy a console for, or to stream on a phone, or to buy a PC for. They were always like, I'll check it out later. It's okay. Oh, I'm pleasantly surprised. Forza Horizon 5 is a great game, and I think it's going to do great on PlayStation. But you can't be looking at this as dominance, dude. Microsoft has taken the best games that they've had in the last decade and are emptying the milkman. Like, they are done. They're like, take it all. And they're giving early access, $100 versions. They're selling a car pass that ended 3 years ago. Get the Ultimate Edition. It has the car pass in it. There's no car pass. You mean car passed. It's CARPAST. Because there is no more pass. It's done. The pass has ended. 2 years ago, you ended the pass. Don't tell me you're selling me Forza Motorsport with the car pass. There's no more content coming for the car pass. The car pass ended. So I don't understand what the hell you think they're doing over there. It's gonna sell, but I'm telling you right now, Forza Horizon 5, the best one they got. Nobody wants Forza Motorsport after that debacle. And I think Gears and maybe E-Day have potential. That's it. I don't think Fable would really see numbers, and I really don't think Perfect Dark, unless Perfect Dark does something outrageous and looks really good. I don't think there's any other leverage on there. I think of their games, I think Horizon 5 and the Gears franchise, Gears of War collection and Gears E-Day, I think those are the ones that have a potential to do well selling. But you got to make sure that those games are not coming out a week after Death Stranding or a week before Ghost of Yotai. Like, you gotta navigate that stuff. But I wouldn't do, Brian, I wouldn't Doom the Dark Ages. Doom was coming out everywhere to begin with. I put Doom in the same realm as Call of Duty. Microsoft paid $80 billion for a tramp stamp and stamped it on these games. These games are going everywhere to begin with. And the same thing goes, we'll cover that the next one. Yeah, boy. But like, you know, and here comes the kind of the explanation. Like, here, I'll help you here. Xbox fans continue to debate on what this means for Xbox console hardware. And he has a new article on that this week. But how can Xbox sustain its hardware and its audience footprint for developers without its own exclusive games? Phil Spencer says he wants Xbox hardware to win on differentiation with unique features such as Game Pass in some form of Xbox AI integration. Holy shit. They're going to be, now it's going to be AI. Oh shit. That don't sound exciting. Yet again, it sounds boring. Like, those are your features, Game Pass, the feature for since 2017 that hasn't been growing on the console. right? This feature, you mean they're gonna win with differentiation for this feature right here? Where is it? Phil, tell us how well Game Pass is doing. I need to know. This is what they're saying. This is what I mean. Like, why do I feel like I cover Microsoft better than the people that work at Windows Central? Because it was Windows Phone Central. That's why. Phil Spencer says right here.
Let's talk about Game Pass a little bit more, since that's a big bet.
This was 2 years ago.
How many subscribers do we have now? And it does seem like a really good deal for the consumer, but what about the Microsoft investor? How is this a moneymaker for Microsoft?
Our last public number was 25 million subscribers that we've talked about.
We get an update?
Not right here, but we did talk about growth on PC. So our Game Pass subscription, not expecting everybody's following the video game market, is available on gaming consoles and on personal computers. And you can subscribe in both places. We're seeing incredible growth on PC. I think Satya Nadella, in our earnings yesterday, the CEO of Microsoft, talked about, I think, 130, 140% year-over-year growth on PC, which is really where we're focused. On console, I've seen growth slow down on Game Pass, mainly because at some point you've just reached everybody on console who wants to subscribe. And we don't see subscription, unlike some other forms of media that have really moved almost solely to a subscription business. Today, Game Pass as an overall part of our content and service revenue is probably 15%. I don't think it gets bigger than that. I think.
That was 2 years ago, Grinders. On the beach. And what I think is number one's funny is that he doesn't reveal the numbers there. Secondly, what I think is funny is that he goes, not expecting everyone to follow the gaming industry. And he has to explain what Game Pass is. Phil Spencer, why are you on the beach then, sitting there? Why are they talking to you if the audience is not following the video gaming industry business and you have to explain yourself? Not that our games are on PC. Like, why do you have to explain what it is? I guess because nobody cares to what it is. And you got to keep explaining that where your service is available. Well, why? Why would they invite you to speak? If nobody's following the gaming industry or the video games, you have to explain yourself. What were you in front of? Did you sneak on stage? Did you take somebody's spot? Maybe they were supposed to have a musical guest or something like that, and you just said, no, I'm going to do Phil Spencer? Well, why are you sitting there and they're asking you? They sound like they know what's going on. Why are you acting all dumb? Oh, not that everybody's following the gaming industry, but, Game Pass is something that's on the PC and in the store. And excuse me. You must have snuck on the stage. You were a write-in on the goddamn guest list. But that's a feature, though. That is a unique feature. On hardware, excuse me, wait a second. I thought Game Pass is everywhere. There's Game Pass on PC. There's Game Pass on your phone. There's Game Pass on your Samsung TVs. There's Game Pass on your Amazon Fire Stick. No need for a console, remember? Bootleg. So how are you trying to protect and help the Xbox fans who continue to debate? Why are you trying to explain to them when what your explanation makes no sense? Hardware to win on differentiation with unique features such as Game Pass. Game Pass is not a unique feature to the Xbox console. There's no reason to. PlayStation Plus is more of a feature for PlayStation, Josh. Because it's only on a PlayStation. Game Pass is not on a console. It's not a feature of Xbox. The console. Game Pass is on a Fire Stick. No console required. Remember that? Last year was the summer of no console required, and then the Christmas time of everything is an Xbox. That was, they've been telling you for the last 2 years, don't buy our shit, and nobody buying it. So I don't understand how that's a feature. And this Xbox AI integration, holy shit on me. Yeah, you can keep that. You can keep that thing. You know what? Because whenever I hear about new technology, I think a little birdie comes into my ear and says something to me like this. Like this.
Xbox scandal says, thou shalt not.
That's That's the guy. There's your Xbox AI. There he is. Oh, shit.
Xbox Gandalf says, thou shalt not.
There he is. There's Xbox AI creator. I think we'll have something. Maybe later on. I think we might show something. Maybe something. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm thinking about something later on. You think you might hear something later on. I think we'll hear the feedback on trying to make the console integration with the PC and the app. I think there's something coming. Then why are you here, sir? I don't know. They told me to come in. I think so. I don't know. I think there's something with AI. Maybe something later. What are you doing here? Oh, Xbox Gandalf is going to be at goddamn CES talking about the Xbox. He came on there and said a whole bunch of I think. That's what he said. They sent his ass to CES and they said, oh, here's the Legion Go 2. So you're here representing Microsoft. What do you have to say? And he goes, I think we might hear some more stuff later this year.
Xbox Gandalf says, thou shalt not.
There's your AI. There he is. Can't wait. Can't wait for that AI. There it is. Whether or not the strategy remains to be seen, one strategy doubtless will win is how Xbox is handling games like Forza on PS5. As of writing it, Forza is the most, and they're celebrating this, dude. This is hilarious. You couldn't get me. I would never thought, and tell me in the chat, I would have never thought you would see Xbox fans celebrating the number of pre-orders, the status of Forza Horizon pre-orders on the PlayStation 5. That was not in my bingo card. That is a true glaze. There's got to be a glaze. I got to hit a glaze. There's got to be a glaze. I don't even know. They're checking on PlayStation pre-orders. Holy shit. They're glazing over there, man. I don't even know what to think anymore. Dude, they're scrapping. It is the saddest thing I've ever seen. They're like, the best game that we ever had is pre-ordering well on PlayStation 5. I am so happy. Yay. This is great for Xbox fans. This is wonderful. What? That's something to make people like, what? That's right, Play Beyonce. Double glaze. That's what we're celebrating. And here we go. The Trojan Horse Microsoft account. Oh, goodness gracious. Forza on PS5 has the Xbox account requirement. The North Star of gaming, operation engagement, all above 10 cents free. Forza 5. I don't even want to read this stuff because this is not anything. They asked the question, do I need a Microsoft account to play Forza 5 on PlayStation? And they said, yes. You need a Microsoft account to play Minecraft. Yo, shout out to all the VIPs coming on in. I didn't even see them. I'm reading the bootleg.
Welcome to all VIPs.
Iconic Games with 5 gifted grinders. And we got Michael Meridian with another 5. We got 10. Is that 15? I gotta add them. I gotta add them to my list. Ow, we got them. The 10. Boom. I'm gonna give. We get about 10 more. I'm gonna give out some. I think I got some here. Hold on, I can get some. Let's go, baby. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Welcome to all the new VIPs. Get those emojis ready. Iconic Games. Let me see if I got some. There it is. Oh yeah. I'll give 5 members out. We got another 10 members. We're on our way to the next emoji, everybody. I'll get 5 more. But anyway, back to the bootlegs. We're going on here. We're going to this thing. And yes, you need an account. I don't understand why this is now. Is this a W? Like, is this the I don't know why they're calling it a Trojan horse. it would be a Trojan horse if Sony didn't know about it and Microsoft had you going down a back alley to sign up for them. You know what I mean? That would be a Trojan horse, because if I remember correctly, they didn't know that there were people hiding inside the horse. Sorry, spoiler alert. You know, so I don't understand, how is this a Trojan horse? This is what they do. Sony's doing it on their end too. Like, this is not a surprise. It's not like Phil Spencer, the guy, yo, come down the alleyway. I'm gonna make you sign up for a Microsoft account. Sony don't know about it. Sony don't know about you signing up. We're gonna do this on the sly. You know, just give me a PSN. Just give me a PSN. Trust me, I'm Phil Spencer. Just give me a PSN, and I'll sign you up. I'll give you a Microsoft account. And don't tell it to Sony. Don't let Herman know I'm talking to you. Shh, don't let Herman know. Just be a little quiet right now. Just give me what's your PSN? Come on, just one hit. Give me a PSN. Yo, is that how they're doing business over there? Are they on the sly letting you sign up? Dude. Who? Like, excuse me. Exactly. Twisted sin for a member of 33 months. Exactly. It's like the article from Xbox era. Death Stranding 2, no announcement for Xbox yet. Oh, I got something for you, Xbox. Yo, Xbox era. Here you go. There's nothing to see.
Nothing to see here, please.
Yeah. Oh, and that's, dude, that, I'm telling you, you want to know the ultimate grinds my gears? That's what it is. Xbox is giving their games the best games that they ever made, which is not a lot. That's the other problem. It's not a lot of games. Microsoft had a few games that were like, oh, wow, that's the Forza Horizon 5 was probably one of their best. The rest of them were all excuses. We're sorry. It was one of their best games. And they're giving Sony the best that they ever had. After waiting and waiting and waiting to E3 and waiting to hear, like, this is torture, man. They are raking them through the mud. I feel so bad, man. It is.
Just wait till E3. There will be a showcase, but I can't say when all our games need help. Bootleg Studios helping with Perfect Dark.
They made them wait. They made them sign their ass, tattoos and all. They were tattooing Xbox on people at those fan fest, fucking glazing their asses over there. Waiting, and I don't want to announce things too early. And now they're taking everything that they had after all your waiting, and they're giving it the best versions, even better versions, optimized for the PlayStation 5 Pro, a mid-gen refresh that Phil said you got already in the Series X. Suck it up. 30 frames at launch, bitch.
Oh, PlayStation.
And then you got Sony going, yeah, that incredible trailer of Death Stranding 2, only on PlayStation. They ain't giving you shit. And they thought because the first one came out 6 years later. Listen, like, does anybody have a goddamn brain here? When Death Stranding got put on Xbox, it was like a surprise. No, there was no marketing to it. There was no hype like they were trying to garner in a new audience. That shit came out like somebody tripped over a wire. It was like, what? Death Stranding's in the store. It's, you know, by 505 Games. What? It just came out of the blue. There was no goddamn, like, Phil Spencer getting on a podium talking about touting out goddamn Hideo Kojima on one of their shows. Still don't know when OD's coming out. They're OD'd on Xbox glazing. Where the hell is OD? They don't care about that Kojima game. But did they really think that this game was going to be coming out on Xbox anytime soon? They didn't even publish it. Exactly, Josh. They didn't publish them. But what the hell? And it's just like, it sucks. They screwed you. That's why I am so surprised. That's why you see these articles from the bootleg, you know, trying to manage the disappointment, you know, and trying to explain, like, well, look, they want them to sign into Microsoft, so they're winning. They're getting MAUs. Nobody gives a shit about MAUs. The facts are is that you took the best of whatever Xbox had, the identity of their brand, and now putting it on the direct competitor that you fought tooth and nail with to justify your existence and to slap them out. And you continued to do that until now you needed them. And now you're giving them everything that you built, and wasn't a lot. And they are still not giving you shit. You don't even get Ape Escape in Metal Gear. Like they said, nope. You didn't even get the bootleg Spider-Man that was in the bootleg Avengers. Nope. They even said, guess what? We're taking MLB The Show out of Game Pass. Bitches!
Oh, PlayStation.
I have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're going to love my...
You thought you're going to get MLB The Show forever in Game Pass? They took it out. They said, buy it now. No baseball for you. You go back now and go play somewhere else now. The only baseball game now you got to buy. And hope you enjoy the few years that you got it in Game Pass. We took it out. That's the benefit of a subscription. That's the sucky thing. Now all of a sudden you're $20 a month. Phil Spencer, they increased the price of Game Pass and now took away the baseball game. And it wasn't even, that's right, John, it wasn't even Sony. The publisher, MLB, said, no, thanks. We're done. Thank you. It's been fun. It's over. How did that value go now? It was on all your lists. Like, we got MLB in April. No, you don't. Just like that. They took it away. That's what subscriptions do for you. You're at the mercy of the host of that service. I guess that Game Pass discount goes away too, because if it was in Game Pass and you wanted to buy it, you got some sort of discount. Well, that's gone too. Now pay full price, bitches.
I can go directly to Blacknets.
They are screwing you left, right, and center. I don't understand how the hell these people on these Xbox shows and Xbox articles and Windows Phone Centrals are trying to hold it down. The circus animals are gone. They are going crazy now. And these Xbox tamers are trying to write these articles and do these glazing shows to say, no, it's fine. It's fine. We're okay. We're good. It's wonderful. We're good. It's fine. MAUs. The MAUs. Look, Microsoft's still winning. They got to log into an account. It's a Trojan horse. Bro. What? Do you want to link your PlayStation account to your Microsoft account? There's nothing Trojan about that. There's more Trojan in the condoms than that goddamn Trojan horse. Holy shit on me.
25. It's coming.
Trojan. It says right there. Trojan would be if PlayStation had no goddamn clue. Who's linking that account? Who this? Microsoft slipping in the back end. That will be a Trojan horse, you dumbass. The hell are you right? Oh, the Trojan horse, they got to link your accounts. Oh. The hell out of here. Go read your Greek mythology, Greek histories. It's like, if this was a Trojan horse, they would have been like, oh, there's people hiding in there that want to take over our town. Oh, bring them in. Oh, look, they're coming in the horse, honey. Take a picture with them. Look at there's the men in the horse. Come in here. Come on. Oh, look at this wonderful thing. Oh, they want to take over our town. Come on in. Open the gates. Let them in. Come on in. Oh, look, they got swords and everything. Oh, come on in. Oh, look at this beautiful horse. What the hell we're talking about here? Goddamn Trojan horse. No, the Trojan horse. Go buy yourself some fucking Trojan condoms. They're more Trojan than this shit. The Trojan horse. Oh, yeah. Nobody's slipping in anywhere. Microsoft's fully exposed to how much they suck and how much they need them. Holy shit. Exactly. Ryan says, headline, Xbox just snuck a decent game onto PlayStation and they never saw it coming. Yeah, there it is. No, the article should just read, Microsoft, we need help. At PlayStation, we need help. That's what it is. That's what all this is. Every article should just be like, PlayStation needs to save Xbox. That's the fact. That's exactly what it is. There's no W in this. There's no W in this. This is like equivalent to when Apple was about to go out of business and they needed Microsoft to help them. This is the same thing. Xbox is about to be no box. And they needed PlayStation and Nintendo because they are selling shit to go, we need you. Please save us. It's a business and we are losing money. And in order for us to stay relevant, we need to sell our games and we need your platform to sell them. That is the goddamn facts. That is exactly what's happening. And I said this before, there is no sly, there's no master plan here. There's no Trojan horse. There's no strategy in this shit. Look at how quickly they're throwing Forza and Janky Jones, and then Starfield now says they have some sort of announcement. Starfield, oh, what? You mean you're crawling out of under that whole piece of shit DLC that you released? Oh, man.
Is that a deal?
No, I keep losing at deals, and I don't want to make a deal anymore. I am leaving, and you can't stop me. I'm packing my bags.
That's right, he's packing his bags.
Come down until this. A bump in the road comes, and she's be sarcastic. I won't be coming back until Saturday when you leave. She's going to try to stop me, but she can't run in those little high heels. Never.
Fans have, especially with all
This face again.
Let's listen to Mr. Goo Goo Gaga himself about Starfield. Because let's see how this turned out to.
On their little Goo Goo Gaga. My little baby, little Fisher Price plastic toy.
Exclusives are leaving Xbox set. In-place crosswords Woody now has. Kept the SS running on the studios just to give the PlayStation.
And they're killer games that are it's the little Animal Crossing.
And now that little Goo Goo Gaga machine is your saving grace to your existence of Xbox. Isn't that crazy? Let's hear how well they talked about Starfield.
All these studios being brought onto Xbox is what will happen with exclusivity for big games like Bethesda's Starfield and the upcoming Elder Scrolls 6, which have normally been on a PlayStation console in their older iterations. Phil explains the approach that Xbox has to keep exclusivity an important part on the console and their ecosystem.
I don't think I ever said Starfield was not going to be exclusive to Xbox.
You know, now you said that, people are going to go through and watch hours worth of
I know,
content.
and I'm
so I like the
almost certain-
confidence.
Yeah, because I think what I said is we're going to take it on a case-by-case basis. Exclusive titles in the console space is part of the business. All platform holders do it. They're they are marketing beats for the platform.
Yeah.
This is the new iteration, a new age of Xbox, which is full of mini studios, tons of great exclusives, high-rated first-party games, and a big offering that is only going to get more massive as they make big announcements at E3 2023. Xbox is not done, and there will be a Starfield Direct announced very soon, and we'll see some of the biggest games that will land only on Xbox in 2023 and beyond.
Now, let me just ask you something. Hearing how passionate these people were about exclusivity and what Phil said was, and what he said was, don't you think that they would use their platform and their messaging now, considering that they were all duped as shit? How do you still continue to come on and be glazed by this company when they blatantly just lied to your face in the last 2 years? This is not a decade and new ownership and new leadership has come in. But if you felt so strongly about this exclusive strategy and this is coming and this is only here and this is what he said, and now, oh no, it's not about exclusives anymore. It's about MAUs and we're logging in. The people are logging in and this is going to save them. No, it just shows that you never gave a shit to begin with. This was all just hearsay because they were tattooing your ass. But what's very interesting is the clip that he chose to show is actually Phil Spencer speaking about exclusives. And I had a clip too when we talked about Phil Spencer talking about how he could have put Halo on PlayStation 3 back in the day. But, you know, it's better than we kept it exclusive. And when you hear what he says, listen to what he says about all platformers do it. Now, remember, he said that they're still trying to build a platform. Even though they're putting their games everywhere, he's still trying to build a platform. This is what is the problem. You can't build a platform when you don't have games as part of that platform. How do you build a gaming platform without unique games, exclusive games, marketing beats, as you call them? How do you build a platform? How? That's the problem. You can't. That's why he goes, oh, it's the features. What features? What? You want to rent your games or you want to buy them? That's a feature? Do you want to finance or do you want to buy a loan? That's the feature of your service? Your service just gives people the option to rent games? So what do you think? You've been giving people that option for all these years. And it's not growing, as you said. You've capped out on the console. So what platform are you trying to sell? That's why this strategy is never going to work. Because you're never going to build an xCloud, a Game Pass platform when the games that are in that service are everywhere. The only choice you have is, do you want to rent them and rent your games, or do you want to subscribe? And that's like every other service that's out there. Do you want to use GameFly or do you want to buy it? Do you want to use Humble Bundle and subscribe and get a bunch of games? Do you want to use these gaming subscriptions? Do you want to use PlayStation Plus or do you want to just buy Death Stranding 2? Because I wouldn't buy PlayStation Plus hoping Death Stranding 2 shows up in there. The only way you'll do that is if you don't care about Death Stranding 2, which is fine. But don't make like, oh, I care about these games and I'm going to subscribe. You don't care about them. Because you're going to get them when he tells you they're ready. Just like they got that Game Pass core. They took Starfield out of Game Pass. When they increased the price, dude, they took Starfield out of it. All those day one games they took out. And they said, you're the new standard one now. For $16 a month, you're standard Game Pass. So you don't get day one games. And we're taking them out. Even the ones that had released already, they took them all out. And then this year is when they put Starfield back in to core. That's what they did. They gave Starfield back to you. They took it away and put it back. Because he decides. So if you want that kind of torture, then there's your choice. If you don't, just buy your game and don't worry about when he decides it's right for you. Or when he decides what's day one. And that price is over $20 a month. That's not small change. The only Game Pass I will tell you to subscribe for is the PC Game Pass. That's it. Because that's that's what it's worth. $11. There you go. $11 to play all their first party games. There you go. And I'm sure that's going to go up. But you could tell that is the weakest link because nobody wants that Windows Store because it's garbage. And it's been like that since 2017. So tell me Mr. Xbox Gandalf is going to fix it. They haven't fixed shit in 3 years on the Xbox app. They put a compact mode, just remove the words. I showed that to you. But what he says here is the importance of exclusives as a platform. All platforms do it.
What I said is we're going to take it on a case-by-case basis. Exclusive titles in the console space is part of the business. All platform holders do it.
All platformers do it. Well, are you still building a platform? How are you going to do that? That's what I mean. Like, you're celebrating Microsoft. Do people celebrate when EA makes you log in? Oh, EA! I hope EA reports these MAUs this month when I link my account and sign in for Madden. It's ludicrous. Who cheers for that shit? Who cheers for that shit? They are. They're trying to claim that as a W. Like, oh, you're gonna sign in on Play. We got you, PlayStation. We snuck in there, and they like, really. Good job.
They're they are marketing beats.
They are marketing beats. Grinders in the chat, over 245 people in here. Hit that like button, please. Subscribe if you're new, because this is it. We use quotes, we use the facts. This is the goddamn thing. And I'm not right about everything, but I know a damn lot about Microsoft because I've been a customer of theirs for the longest time, and I've been through this rigmarole. They're not they are marketing beats. So let me ask you this question, everybody in the chat. How do you market a beat when there is no drum? There is nothing.
You're my #1 customer.
There is nothing. How do you market Game Pass when there's no marketing beat to it? What's the beat? Xbox Game Pass, all the games are everywhere. Well, why do you need Game Pass as a platform? Xbox Cloud. All the games in cloud are everywhere where you are. PlayStation got 40% of their console owners from that. I think it was 40% were new customers. Either they came from PC or Xbox, or they're brand new to the PlayStation platform. New customers. What are you marketing? There is no market to it. You still got to explain what Game Pass is in 2025. Because people don't know. I still hear videos and podcasts going, well, I had to explain to somebody what Game Pass is. And they were like, wow, dude, really? Oh, really? If it was that great, do you need to explain what Netflix is to people? Do you need to tell them what HBO Max is? What Max is? Do you got to explain what goddamn, Netflix. You saw me, what's Netflix? You look at them like they got two goddamn heads. But if you say Xbox Game Pass, and be, who's that? Well, that's a problem. That's a marketing problem. How are you going to be in the Netflix of gaming when nobody knows you exist? And you capped out. That's what's crazy. You capped out with, we got everybody we need to get on console. You maxed out, and they still don't know who you are. Man, oh man. And I wonder what those Starfield announcements are. What do you think they're going to be? Starfield, we got some news. Oh, man. Hopefully not new DLC because nobody wants that shit. And you want to know what it is? It's probably the PlayStation version of Starfield. Which, by the way, like I said before, it's getting real crowded in 2025. Let me see this.
You're my #1 customer.
Yep. Let's see what they said. There's no official confirmation, but there's a Starfield there. However, posts on X and web chat indicate ongoing rumors, especially after the game's mixed reception and Microsoft's push to maximize revenue from its $7.5 billion Bethesda investment. Some insiders hint that PS5 release is possibly late 2025 or 2026, potentially tied to Shattered Space, the expansion that ever was worse. But they said we got exciting things. Now, is it the new expansion or is it not? Who the hell knows what it is? But all I'm going to say is that it's getting crowded. And if Starfield, they came out and be like, we got some news. Just keep quiet, man. That, I think, you know what? We're going to go into the next topic of the ABK 80 billion. We're rolling, everybody. We're rolling. Goddamn rolling through these topics. Sign my ass! With the 50 Seek, he goes, it's fun to make fun of Microsoft, but only when they're being foolish. They suck on their own accord. And you know what? Sign my ass. Listen, the thing is that all this is not, and this is why I don't fault us as gamers. Like, I don't want to blame gamers for this. I think a lot of the influencers are people that have that access and falsely used it, or maybe were in cahoots with Microsoft to spread false messages and false hope. and to kind of calm the masses down. I hold those people accountable. But I hold those people like, those people are just like, they just did their job, I guess, but those people really manipulate the shit out of the gamers. But all this doing, spending money, buying publishers, buying this, it's all Microsoft's tripping over their own feet and messaging. We covered, I did in my, if you look on Friday's show where we did the reactions to the old E3s, you see them stumbling over themselves with messaging, talking about, oh, you don't need to take out your phone, just yell at your Xbox. And meanwhile, the dude takes out his phone to navigate it. Their execution sucks. They have all these ideas and they try to sell these ideas and hopefully somebody will bite on it. But it's just false bait because they never deliver on the quality. That's why this whole idea, when we'll get into after that with the next Xbox console, it sounds interesting, but giving their history and giving how they do, they don't execute properly. Either it comes out in beta and never gets finished. But this is the problem that they do. Like, it's just not fair to the gamer, to the customer, because they just have false promises. The Claymores with the 10, he goes, Xbox doesn't have a healthy marketplace, so they needed to go multi-plat. They have kept if they had kept the exclusives if their consoles will still had a pulse. Exactly. They would definitely. They would never be doing this if their console was selling, but the console's been dismal. This is when the console should be at its peak, and it didn't. And they took their bets, dude. They took their bets. Starfield, they pulled it, like he said, exclusive. Phil was real clear. It's a marketing beat. They tried with the $7.5 billion in Bethesda. They tried to make games exclusive and try to work that out. But Redfall was, I think after Redfall and then the Starfield didn't hit what they wanted it to hit, and it didn't really sustain a lot. It was on MPDs once and then dropped the hell off. I think that the cannibalization of Game Pass and the uncertainty of their games, and I spoke about this yesterday when showing how when Sony and even Nintendo roll out their games, there is a confidence. There is a, let me show you what we're cooking, what we got. And there's breakdowns. There's like, let me show you another aspect of the gameplay. Let's talk about what else you can do. And it's always more and more. When Microsoft tries to do that, it's always these things come out. Oh, expect jank at launch. Oh, you can't do all these things in Avowed. Oh, we don't have 60 frames on the consoles at launch, but we're listening, we're learning. Still never added a performance mode to Hellblade 2, X-Hawk2's favorite game, spit on it. Never added it, nobody ever asked about it. There's only 24 people playing. This is the stuff, like there's this lack and it turns into, oh, and pre-order now. Dude, are you reading the room? Like, you basically are shitting on your own game. Janky Jones, you showed that jank-ass combat and you showed cinema scenes all throughout the year that there was so much doubt in the game. No third-person camera, but we'll pull out the third person when you're swinging like a jank. Like, well, when you clamber over an item or you clamber over a wall, we're gonna zoom out and zoom in. What? Oh yeah, when he jumps over a wall, we'll zoom out to third person and zoom right back up his ass. Wow, that's very immersive. That seems wonderful. Who thought of that? And people were complaining about that. And then when it came out, I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, I'm pleasantly surprised. Why? Because you thought the game was going to suck? Good job marketing, Microsoft. You made these people think it was going to suck. So that's the problem with their rollout. They don't make people want to play their games. They tell you what's not going to be there. They show you devs riding in the hallway, doing cartwheels, playing at lunchtime some Dungeons and Dragons, showing them drinking coffee in a break room. Is that supposed to make me pre-order their game? They look like they're fucking not working. That's supposed to get me, oh, look how much fun they're having. Look at all of them. Look at them. They're jerking around. Look at them. Dude's doing 3 cartwheels in the hallway. Nobody's in the office. Oh, I can't wait to pre-order that game. Oh, we're sorry, no performance modes at launch. No wonder, motherfucker dancing in the hallways. Go work on 60 frames, bitch. Oh, it's coming. We're learning. We're listening. We heard the feedback. Get the hell out of here, heard the feedback. But this is the problem. Nobody wanted to pre-order it, so therefore they just check it out in Game Pass. Low risk, low reward. Hey, if it's good, that's great. I got it in Game Pass. If it's bad, I got it in Game Pass. And that was like a recipe for disaster. It was like a shit peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was like a shit and jelly sandwich. It was like you couldn't ask for worse. You demonstrate a lack of confidence in your marketing of games. Sea of Thieves, they shot some dude out of a friggin' cannon because they had no confidence of the goddamn games. This is the crazy shit. So you give doubt in your games. You know, we just got right now, we got now the South of Midnight, bad combat and bad platforming. Pre-order now. Oh shit, from the previews. The previews are telling it it's not good with the combat and platforming. Dusty been flipping over goddamn flower tables and there's cookies all over the place. He didn't like it. The previews were negative on South of Midnight. Cool atmosphere, cool graphics. But janky combat, repetitive combat, boring. They lock you into a room. It's not like Kena. Very simplistic combat, bad platforming. Does that sound like something that you're going to drop $40 on right now? Give me $40 right now. Throw it in the chat. Give me $40. You're going to hold and wait. You're like, oh shit, no, maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll sign up for $11 and check it out if I'm really interested in it. That's the problem. They never showed their games with confidence. Even Starfield, remember? They showed goddamn, they showed the face of goddamn the Uber driver, goddamn Todd Howard in the front, and the gameplay was simulated on a TV all the way in the back of the room. And it's like, dude, Todd, get your ass out of the way. Let's see Starfield gameplay. No, they put that dopey goddamn Uber driver in the front. See his goofy ass. The gameplay's back there on the goddamn simulated screen. They're playing it back there. I'm like, yo, I can't see it. Oh, you'll see it later. Starfield gameplay. And all swipes and cuts. And then guess what we hear? Loading. You can't land on the planets. Tell me what else I can't do. Well, we can't land on the planets. You know, we got all, there's nothing to do on the planets. We got random generated events. There's all rocks. And then we find out about the loading screens that they hid from us. Dude, you basically told people to go check it out in Game Pass because nobody was going to drop $60, $70 on something they're uncertain about. You showed that Death Stranding trailer yesterday. The money was getting through. They were goddamn, everybody's computer screen turned into a stripper show. Everybody was throwing money at the screen. They're like, dollar bills, dollar bills, dollar bills, y'all. They're throwing them at the screen. They're like, where can I pre-order this shit? Give me the goddamn $300 edition. We're cooking. Give me it all. That's what happens when you show games with confidence. You get people want to spend their money on it. They don't want to check it out and, oh, I'll just check it out in Game Pass. I don't know about this. Nobody's saying that with Death Stranding 2 trailer. Eyeballs falling out of their head. They can't wait to pre-order it. That's confidence. That's what you do. And that's what they did. That's the problem. And then the second thing they flopped up. Let me go here. Let's see. What's his name? Simon S. got me on who wrote that last one? The Claymores. Thank you, Claymores. You got me on that rant on that thing. But yeah, it's the truth. It's like, it was like a perfect shit sandwich. That's what they did. You know, not confident in their games, lack of features, games not ready for prime time, coming in hot, and a subscription service that basically warranted you to check it out just in case, so you don't get screwed that you spent $70 and the game wasn't ready. And they did years of that and years of nothing. And that's why they're in the case that they are. And now the best games that they have are going to the competitor. Sign my ass with the C50. He goes, Jez, if you could do a trading places thought experiment and you suddenly become the CEO of Xbox, not the whole Microsoft, what would you do? Well, if you do it now, there's probably not much I could do right now because they made it get out of control. The first thing I would do, just to honor your super chat here and do this little role-playing thing, I would say the first thing I would have done is I would have focused on prestige and quality and making sure that everything that came from our studios would be something that would identify with Xbox and something that they want to build upon. That's what I would make sure. I would make sure that when that game came out, it would be a staple. Regardless if it was going to Game Pass or not, I think the Game Pass would have been resorted more to our legacy titles and backwards compatibility, what they did at the time, and not take on their new shit and put it in there. That was another band-aid on an open wound. But I would have said, hey, we got to build prestige back. We need to build franchises that identify with our brand. That's what they needed to do, and they didn't. Crackdown 3 was a drop. That was a mess up. They promised cloud and all that because they tried to do too much of the tech. And that's always been the problem. Microsoft has tried to implement one of their bullshit Microsoft Windows strategies instead of just focusing on making the game for a great game. Instead, they're like, Crackdown, it has to show the cloud. And then it goes, oh, and Halo Infinite has to show free to play and battle passes. Like, we got to focus on that instead of making sure that it was a Halo game of the ages. No, they focus on all the Microsoft bullshit instead of making games for the sake of making games and telling a story and building on the franchises. And then on top of that, they spend so much money, $80 billion on Activision, publishers, and they did. And you know, one thing, before I move on, I didn't have this as a topic, and thank you so much, Sam, I asked for that question there. You know, one of the things too, what's up, Holomoko? Hit that like button, grinders. Exactly, Sayo. They ruined all their franchises and no desirable games. Like, yeah, even the big ones, Halo, Gears, and Forza. Dude, Forza was a quality game that came out every other year. They spent 6 years making the next Forza, and it came out half-baked. Dude, Forza was coming out every other year. Forza 4, Forza 5, Forza 6, Forza 7. It was coming out every year, Forza Motorsport. And then they spent 6 years, and then it comes out half-baked. Not really optimized, a horrible Forza that nobody even talks about. Would you believe that Forza released about 2.5 years ago or something like that? Nobody even knows. It's crazy. It is crazy. So let's do, and I'll put a yo, shout out to Baldante.
It's coming.
Put the 20. He goes, Microsoft supports DEI. Most of their games identify as game of the generation. Yeah, dude, that politics shit going in there. But a lot of them have been doing that stuff. But that's the thing. The hype for that game of the generation. Thank you again for the super chat. The hype for that game of the generation. Yeah, the DEI isn't a reason why their games suck. It's that they did not have the proper oversight to their games. They basically what they did was they did this hands-off approach, and they trusted their developers to just release the games because they do not care. They treated their games as content, like as basically as just production, trying to get it out for Game Pass, because they turned into satisfying a subscription rather than making great games for people to play. And they just thought about where everything was going to be rather than what. But yeah, it's not the deal. Everybody supports that stuff. Everybody, like, whatever they're doing on that stuff, but it really was the quality of the games and the franchises. That's exactly what it was. It's not just it wasn't that. It was just they did a hands-off approach, man. Hands-off ass first approach. You heard it here. That's what it is. And you know, one of these things that came up here from our good friend Dusty Bin, and I'll put the link of Dusty's thing if you want to watch it. We're gonna watch a little bit of it. But Dusty went on a rant. He had a grind my gears session. He said he came out there. You know, he came out here talking about the ABK deal, and he walked out into his office, and he took over the bakery, and he was like,
put this thing away. This is not worth it.
That's right. He's like, this is not what we're doing here. He said that we are not happy with the results of the ABK deal. That's what he said. He said, I'm trying to find it. He said that this, where is it? He came out, he did a show. Xbox buying Activision was pointless. So he put away the baker's cap and he went on a rant
about the potential savings I could be seeing by having access to all the new Activision games on Xbox Game Pass, or just see how Microsoft would shake things up, and the potential for old games to make their way onto the service. That was cool. Or see some kind of revitalization of interest in Xbox services. That was intriguing. But now that we're headed into year 2 since closure, I gotta ask Microsoft directly, what exactly was the point of buying this company if you're not gonna do jack squat with it?
Whoa, Dusty Bin just walked in the house and he said, that's it, the baker's dozen.
Put that cookie down now.
He said, that's it, the bakery is closed, bitch.
Put that cookie down now.
Dude, he walked in there, Dusty Bin, he went crazy.
Put that cookie down.
He's done making cookies.
Diablo 4 came to Game Pass, as well as one bad Call of Duty and one really good Call of Duty. We got Spyro, we got Crash. Recently, StarCraft 1 and 2 also made their way onto the service, but there's little to no promotion or fanfare. And yeah, they announced the Tony Hawk game, but let's be honest, that was probably already in the works.
Can you say that for all the games that they got? Call of Duty was also in the works too. He blew up the oven. He came in there.
Put that cookie down now.
It's good, but the potential has been completely wasted by Xbox, in my opinion. There is so much more they could be doing.
Yep.
What's with the piecemeal service? Are you really making so much bank on Prototype 1 and 2, which I still have my original disc copy of, and the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare from 2007, and Singularity, that you couldn't even imagine making some sort of big announcement about rolling out the amazing Activision library in some fashion on your service? Let's pop in my Prototype disc and see what happens when I put it in the console, shall we?
Put that cookie down now.
Okay, so we're putting it in. This is my official disc for Prototype on the Xbox. Let's see what it says. Take your time. Here we go. Sorry, this game isn't playable here.
It's telling him to go play it on PlayStation.
Put that cookie down now.
Whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
You have me right. Con men, thieves, degenerates, lowlifes, thugs, criminals.
At first I thought he was putting it in the PlayStation.
Telling me you published this game, you are currently selling it for $9.
They don't publish it now. Like, oh, they put a tramp stamp on it.
Regularly $20, and you can't even make it backwards compatible on the console. Are you really making that much money from the game? You're telling me that you're making so much bank on your library, like Call of Duty World at War, that it makes more sense to keep it behind a $20 price tag than do literally anything else with it? Roll out a small bundle of classic Call of Duty games on Game Pass for a month and see what happens. You're really making...
Listen, we all know what they're doing. They're not going to put those old Call of Duties on Game Pass. That was, listen, everybody had these hopes and dreams about this goddamn thing. Everybody had these hopes and dreams. This is where he shows it, that he also shows it that it's also... Where is it? It's also, you could buy Prototype for $10 digitally, but it's not backwards compatible. Listen, this is the inconsistencies of the whole, this play anywhere, cloud saves. There is so much inconsistency that when you really go look at it, it's a disaster. It's a mess. It is a train wreck. I heard somebody else say this. It is a goddamn train wreck. It's a disaster. It's a mess.
It was a disaster, Ryan.
It's all over the place.
It was a train wreck.
It's all over the place.
Ryan. It was a train
wreck.
It was a.
That's why there's inconsistencies in all their promises. That's why I always said it's the delivery. It's always the execution that they fail on. They'll come out there and wine and dine, take you to rooftop parties, sign your ass, do all that stuff, tell you about what their future is and what they're going to do, what they want to do, and what you're going to see and what we're going to do. And I think you'll hear more, and I think this. But then when it comes down to it, they never execute it. Backwards compatible, cloud saving, we stopped that. It's all over the place. This game is not play anywhere, but this game you own now. This game you publish now. You bought all these publishers. Why aren't all these games now play anywhere? Because you publish it now. They never went back and did this shit. And this is why I said it for the entire year and two when they were doing this ABK deal. This was never a strategy. They just wanted it to get Call of Duty in Game Pass and to feed Game Pass because they had no other option. They would say, like, you hear people say, like, Activision Blizzard saved them, that changed them. Dude, what happened to ZeniMax that they just bought for $7 billion a few years before? You mean that was a no show, no go? Like, nobody, you look at their profits from last year. It was all based off of Activision. All their percentage increases was all Activision. And like I said, that zero, that -1 was all ZeniMax, was all the acquisitions from 2018. All that amounted to zero growth and negative growth. The only positive growth was just because they spent $80 billion and got Candy Crush. This is the problem that they have. The execution sucks. They never had a plan. It was all these people and all these influencers that go, oh my God, they're going to make Prototype 2. They're going to bring Prototype 3. They're going to bring all the prototypes to Game Pass. They're going to bring Spider-Man to Game Pass. Remember that shit? Oh, here come, we own all the Spider-Mans now to Game Pass. Oh, shit. Dude, they were doing a fan's wet dream, man, by a bunch of con men.
You hear me, right? Con men, thieves, degenerates, lowlifes, thugs, criminals.
All of it there was no intent of any of that shit. Because they were not thinking like a gaming company, because they don't give a shit about you, the gamer. They don't care. That's what happens. And now you're sucking into this stuff. You got the physical copy, but you can't play it. But you could buy the digital for $10.
Up here, $30. Singularity is another gem developed by Raven Software and published by Activision. You own both these companies. This game holds a fond place in many of our hearts, and yet I can't even buy it on the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, that's right. The plan was there is no plan. Exactly. Good night, Mary. See you, man. See you, Mary. Yeah. There is no plan. Just like putting their games right now on PlayStation and the Trojan horse that they were alluding to, there is no plan. That's why they're just throwing, whenever the game's ready, throw it on PlayStation. Get it out. Get it out. Go, go, go. There's no plan. Because if they really thought about this going, dude, how are we going to come out with talk about hardware? How are we going to talk about anything after just putting all our games everywhere? How is that even going to be a thing? Nobody's thinking that right now. Nobody's thinking, how the hell does Phil Spencer go out there and talk about some Xbox, whatever platform? It's like, dude, all the stuff on your platform is being put everywhere else. So what are you selling us? Well, look how cool this is. Who cares? It doesn't play any of the games these other platforms have. Nintendo has Metroid and Mario Kart. Sony got God of War and Spider-Man's, and they got the Wolverines coming, and they got goddamn Death Stranding 2, and then they got Intergalactic coming. So I could play your games and their games over here. Why would I buy yours and cut myself off from their games and just play yours? It makes no sense.
You're my #1 customer.
What are you selling me? But look, it's a mobile. We'll talk about it. It's a mobile device. Dude, we'll talk about it. Let Dusty
put that cookie down.
Let him finish his rant. Look at this. He even goes to Steam DB.
You don't have this on Xbox at all, but you have it. You have this 2010 classic for sale exclusively on the Microsoft Store and Steam for $29.99. I'm sure the 16 people playing and the $24,000 you've made on Steam, well, that's the revenue number over 13.8 years.
But I hope you leave enough
That
room for my
probably
fist
really
because
puts-
I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine!
The envelope.
Yes, I would like
Look,
to have
all
a
I'm
refund.
saying is this is an easy win and you're squandering it. So is
Dude, there's 16 people playing. I don't know what kind of W that would be.
Prototype, which had a whopping 92 peak players today, which represents about $1,840 in revenue.
What? Is he really? Dusty Bin? Oh, Jesus.
This is not worth it.
You're really capping for 92 people playing goddamn Prototype? Dude, there's 24 people playing Hellblade 2 that came out last year. Oh, shit.
You just made the list.
He got two! He got two!
Yo! The 24 people playing Hellblade 2 came out last year. You're telling them to care about 92? Janky Jones got goddamn 10,000 people at the peak. Oh, please. Dude, this is petty shit. They're not going to do any of this stuff. And what you're doing is that you're trying to say like, oh, you own all this stuff now. Dude, they didn't go back and do shit with anything because they don't care. And they're not going to put the old Call of Duties in Game Pass. You want to know why? Because it will take away from the one Call of Duty that they are paying for right now. They need to funnel everybody in Call of Duty. Like, listen, they need to have Call of Duty funneling all those people. He is reaching. This is like, you know, I don't, this is just, does he still continue with this stuff? Oh man, yeah, what's it? He threw some Phil Spencer quotes.
Xbox fan, as you have been very clear that you're porting everything to PlayStation anyway.
We are finding that our games shipping in on multiple platforms is a good thing for Xbox.
Take the first 5 Call of Duty games, put them on Game Pass for a month, see what happens.
You know what happens? I'll tell you what happens. I'm not going to tell you what happens. Put in the chat what happens if they put these games in Game Pass. Tell me what happens at Call of Duty. Tell me. I'll give you some thinking music. Tell me, see what happens. You know damn well what's going to happen. I'll give you some thinking music.
Give me your subs, give me your money with 4 games. It's all on Game Pass, Realness is really need to compete. Trust me, it's all on Game Pass. Let me sign your backer.
Nothingness. Nothing will happen. I agree. There will be some nothing will happen, but guess what else will happen? There you go. Sayo. The current Call of Duty players, they will lose their current Call of Duty players. They won't do that. Exactly, Sayo. I agree. I don't think much will happen, but I do think what Sayo says will happen. That's exactly what, that's why they won't do it. They won't do it because they are fighting for their life right now and trying to get that old map uploaded on Warzone right now and trying to get people back into Call of Duty. And they're like, this is it. They will not put the better Call of Duties and their multiplayer on Game Pass because they will take away from that. And you want to know what else, Sayo? Guess what these 5 Call of Duties don't have? I'll wait. What don't these 5 Call of Duties have? Thank you, Claymores. Look, this is why the grinders are the best. Hit that like button for you. Hit that like button for all you. You are all the smartest grinders and gamers this side of the gaming universe. Hit that like button for yourself. There you go, Claymores. Thank you, Vex. Monetization, comically inclined microtransactions. Exactly. None of these, they don't got the Ninja Turtles in these. They don't have goddamn Nicki Minaj, his ass rolling all over the place. They don't have Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2 running around. No, they don't have those skins of microtransactions. The bullshit. They don't have that. That's why they're clean. They just have a leveling up system. They got something that everybody just wants, a clean Call of Duty. So why would they ever put these games in Game Pass? They will never. They will never put them in Game Pass because it will pull away from the current Call of Duty fan base, which is currently pissed off because of all that bullshit, because Van Disk is coming back. They're hoping that Warzone could be salvaged. It's a choice. No, it's on my ass. It's slimy. They will never do this because this will take away. There's no microtransactions in any of these. These are clean Call of Duty level up guns. That's why they'll never do it. So in your rant, I agree. They done nothing with this shit. But they never promised that. See, that's the thing. When everybody was running around championing this stupid ABK deal, nobody was questioning, what are they going to do? Like, how does this benefit us? Everybody was just like, it's great for gamers, more people to play. All they were doing was being a parrot to the Phil Spencer corporate talk. Well, they need to compete. They need to compete. Sony whining and complaining. Sony this, Sony's complaining. Screw the CMA. Sony crying. Phil Spencer's giving them facts. Like, we need this. We need this to be competitive because we are losing. We need to compete. That's what he was saying. We need to compete. And with the slap in the faces, they sold it that we need to compete. And then basically, they cashed out right after they signed the deal and said, we're putting our games on PlayStation, just 4 games. Dude, you just screamed for 2 years how buying Activision, you're going to compete with them. It's to give you market relevance. And after that, you say, okay, let's put all our games on there. And what's crazy is that they didn't put like the third-party games, like the Bethesda games on there. They didn't just put the Call of Duty games on PlayStation. No, they went back to Rare and they built Frosted Glass and said, no, Rare, you're going to put Sea of Thieves over there. Yeah, you. Hey, you know what? Playground, we're going to take Forza and give it to somebody else, and we're going to put They went to the archives and put the game. They didn't just put like, oh, well, it's just Bethesda games. It's just Call of Duty. It's just going to be the ZeniMax games. It's just going to be Activision games. They're already multi-platform. We'll keep them where they are. No, they went back into their archives. They went back to the best of anything that they had and said, no, we need Sea of Thieves. We need Forza. Go make that Marcus Phoenix collection. Yeah, put those over there. And nobody was ready for that shit. Because it wasn't just the big publishers they purchased. They went back to their OGs and told them to make a PlayStation game. The ultimate nut shot.
I have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're going to love my nuts. Watch this. You can do everything.
It was a disaster, Ryan. It was a train wreck. It was a disaster, Ryan. It was a train wreck. It was a disaster, Ryan. It was a train wreck. It was a disaster, Ryan.
A train wreck. A disaster. Hit that like button, grinders. We cooking tonight. We cooking. But yeah, so that Activision deal. And one other thing I'll put on that Activision deal, grinders, is I was thinking about it, and maybe I'll probably do a video on this. Let me get my Grindhouse thinking music on. Where's my... One thing I just wanted to talk about, just a prelude into something else, is if you think about it, over the last and actually here, let me just join me for a moment here. Let me see here. I just wanted to bring this up. Let's see if they have it. Because I was thinking this off my head. Yeah. Yep. Just thought about it. What's interesting is that, so let's look at this here. So here's the grok. Microsoft releases in the last few years, right? I thought what's crazy is that if you think about it, in the last few years, what games would they have released if it wasn't for buying and spending $80 billion in ZeniMax and Activision? And this proves exactly what I was saying. Since 2023, like, look at this. Redfall, Starfield wouldn't exist. Hi-Fi Rush wouldn't exist. So in 2023, the only game coming from their studios, not from their publisher acquisitions, was Forza. That's it. These three came from the ZeniMax acquisition. 2024, Call of Duty, Janky Jones. They would just had Hellblade and Age of Mythology. 2025, Doom, they would just have South of Midnight. And that was just from their published acquisitions. Back in 2022, Grounded, As Dusk Falls, okay, they're good there. Medium, Forza, Halo. Bleeding Edge, there. So of their published acquisitions over the last 2 years, they would have had one goddamn game. They would have one goddamn game in 2023, and they would have had 2 games in 2024, and would have had 1 game with Doom. South of Midnight and Avowed. There you go. So their acquisitions, basically, their publisher acquisitions basically fed them for the last 2 years. But then when you go back and look, the studios they purchased in 2018, Bleeding Edge wouldn't exist. I don't know, Tell Me Whys and stuff. Pentiment, Grounded, 2022 would have been null. I don't see on here with Psychonauts. I don't know, did I say exclusive? But it just was thinking, like, you know, the thing is that if they never purchased any of these studios in 2018, if they never bought the publishers, the only games that they would have released was Gears, Flight Sim, Halo, Forza, Halo, Forza, Halo, Gears, and Forza, Halo, Gears, and Forza.
25.
That's it. That is it. In the last 5 years. And before that, it was even more dismal. That's it. They are still essence of Halo, Gears, and Forza. And I'm giving them those 18 studios that they purchased, because at least they were studios. But it is crazy that their production is so bad. It would be Halo, Gears, Forza, Flight Sim. That would be all they offered in the last 5 years. And probably before that, Halo, Gears 4, and then they had Sea of Thieves. So these publishers that they purchase have been padding their ass for the last 3 years. And actually, 2022 would have been Redfall and Starfield. I have no clue what 2023 would be, because 2023 turned into what it was because Redfall and Starfield got delayed. So it shows that they spent $80 billion, and this $80 billion, they've just been kind of keeping them afloat with game releases. It's crazy. I was just thinking about it. I was like, you know, those publishers really have padded their ass in the last 3 years. Last 4 years. That's why there is no plan. It was just get anything out that you got. Just get anything out that you got. And there's some games missing on there, like Psychonauts, that was on there, so you give them Psychonauts too. But I just thought, like, how much these publishers, because, you know, you look at Doom and Call of Duty, and it's like those games were coming out anyway. Microsoft just puts a tramp stamp on them. And the thing is that just to piggyback off of Dusty Bin's video, Microsoft has not done anything marketing wise to leverage these games with their brand. I understand the game. Like, look at Destiny. Destiny was multi-platform, but Sony did everything in their power to make Destiny almost like an exclusive game, like an experience only on PlayStation. They marketed the hell out of it to make it part of their identity. Just like what Microsoft used to do with Call of Duty. They made the shooter box. And you think like, hey, we own all these games right now. Why are we not taking Doom and being like, yo, Doom Xbox, like the Doom box? And even with Call of Duty last year, they never really made the marketing push to say, we own it now. Let's celebrate it as a part of our brand. Because that's one way that they could try to sell a platform, if that's what they still want to do, is basically try to make it associated with their brand. And they haven't even done that. They didn't spend any money to try to say Call of Duty returns back to Xbox. It's home again. Here's a console. Here's a console for it. Here's the home of Xbox. Like, just really try to bring that Call of Duty is an Xbox brand. But they didn't even do that. They're not doing it with Doom. They're not doing it with anything. They're not spending money to brand it, even though they own it. And that's where the big Dusty Bin's complaining is like, they're not doing any kind of leverage. Like, it's free. Like, you don't have to pay Activision for some sort of marketing deal. You own them. You are the marketing deal. And it's just something that I thought was pretty crazy. And that leads into the next topic, which is the console platform of the hardware. And basically, like, how are you going to seriously get out there and talk about any kind of hardware platform or anything when you have no goddamn identity? That's why this plan is not really well thought out. Sign my ass with the 50 seek. He goes, Phil signed my ass. Doesn't that count for anything? Oh shit, he just signed my ass. Here it goes. Thank you.
Sign me please, I will bend over and touch. My knees tell me it's better when we all play the make exclusive games and lie to my face. Thank you, Phil.
Shadow Gamer says Phil Spencer lied to the Xbox fans. Microsoft put all their games on PlayStation 5. They did. Dude, it's ultimate kick in the nuts. Phil took them all outside. Said, come to FanFest. I'm going to kick you all in the nuts. Because that's what he did. So this next Xbox, the rumor has it that the next Xbox may not be a traditional console. Bootleg Jazz at it again. The next Xbox is not going to be a console. What they're saying, what Bootleg said on the podcast, is that they would stop making hardware right now if they had a choice. That's the Peter Moore one would do. Everything is an Xbox. They're saying that the next console, and I said this myself as well, because there's no way that they're going to be able to sell a hardware, a console again. That console has to be a PC. And that's why the dude went on there talking about this experience. Like, they're trying to take that Xbox app, maybe make a Steam box type experience or a Steam big picture mode or something like that, and have some sort of Xbox, some sort of Xbox thing on there. What he's saying is that he says that the dev kit, what kind of specs he's been targeting is pretty much the next Xbox. I'm pretty sure that the new hardware is not 2026, it's 2027. Because this rumor came out when Call of Duty said, they were saying like, oh, they got dev kits out there. Again, he could be wrong. He is the bootleg. The general assumption is now that the next Xbox will be a microform Windows Power PC. A console-like shell and chassis that sit under nicely your television. So like these micro PCs, which I have one of them. I have the Minis Forum, which I use as a regular PC on the family PC there. A microform Windows PC. And that it'll be compatible with the peripherals and inputs, and likely have a switchable mode that ports between a gaming interface and a general Windows layout. so you could treat it like a desktop as much as a home gaming console. We'll grind this. Let's see, did they talk about what it may be? No. Let me ask you something. Microsoft is not new to hardware. Yeah, I know, Michael. He said so. Then he came out and said that there is no dev kit. There is no dev kit that he knows of. It's basically going to be some sort of Windows computer. And the thing is that when it's a Windows computer, guess what? They're not subsidizing that shit, because their marketplace now is one of many marketplaces on this. Like, the whole point of buying of this console strategy is that they either break even or subsidize the console a little bit, with the hopes that you're going to buy from their, with the thing is that you're going to buy from their ecosystem. You're going to buy their accessories. You're going to buy from their store, and Microsoft makes 100%. Well, if you bring an open platform, first off, you're not making money on the software and the services, whether they sign up for what, NVIDIA GeForce Now. Microsoft, Xbox and Microsoft not making money on that. So there's going to be no subsidization to this hardware. So this hardware will probably be priced like an Asus ROG Ally, like a laptop, like a Windows PC, and you're looking at the upper $7,000 to $1,000 of hardware. And it may have some customizable, maybe some sort of APU on it to make it a smaller box, but it is basically going to be a computer. And if you look, basically they're going to sell this like Lenovo, like an Asus, like Acer. Those guys are not losing on their hardware because their hardware is their bread and butter. You know, Acer sells you the computer. That's it. They don't make any money on Steam. They don't make any money on any per day. You bought the hardware. That's their money. So they're going to make sure they make money on their hardware. And if you look at Microsoft, that's basically what they're making. And if you need an example, let me give you one. Surface. Go look at the Surface devices. They are very overpriced. They're not value prices. They are premium prices for less than what you can get from other laptops and other devices. They're overpriced. They're priced to a market that they tried to grab from Apple. But they're premiumly priced. No dedicated GPUs, but they're priced there. They're a premium device. They're well built, but they are not value proposition. You're getting a lot less with a Surface performance than you're getting with other laptops similarly priced as that. And the Surface has been overpriced, and they actually priced they're now out of the, like, now the Surface, I was watching an article, I watched the video, I read an article and watched the video. Basically the Surface business is going to be all now business associated. They're getting out of the consumer electronics section. They'll still make them, but I don't think there's any innovation. Even Panos Panay left because there was no more innovation in Surface. He went somewhere else. I think he went to Amazon or something. But he was like the presenter of all their devices. But that's what they're doing. Their Surface is overpriced because they're making money on that hardware. So these devices now that they're PCs, and it's not a closed ecosystem like an Xbox that you buy from their store, you buy their accessories, it's not going to probably be subsidized. And on top of that, it's about execution. This dual mode. Is it going to be in beta when people buy it? Is it going to be, I think we'll fix it later? We hear the feedback, just like they told Mr. Gandalf about how this is supposed to be what they wanted. What do they want? They wanted better capture and uploading of goddamn game DVR. The Xbox dashboard, still ass. Never updated over generations. Or the improved Xbox Windows Store that they had since 2017 and never fixed. You think they're going to pull this one off? I think this is going to be a ploy to get people to upgrade to Windows 12. I think this dual boot type thing is going to be a Windows 12 ploy. Just like they try to ploy everybody into the Windows Store for Windows 10, this is going to be a Windows 12 initiative, because you got to think like Stutter and Satya. He don't give a shit about gaming. He don't know about gaming. He reads cue cards. He has no goddamn clue. So they're going to have to tie all this shit into some sort of incentive to get people to upgrade to Windows 12. So this kind of like Xbox thing is going to be with the free upgrade to Windows 12. Just like Windows 10 was supposed to be the forever edition, and now they stopped supporting it. It was going to be the last operating system you're supposed to buy, they said. Yeah. And now they stopped doing updates to it. It's a scam. So what I think this next Xbox is, listen, it sounds cool. If I need to put a little PC thing underneath my TV or the projector and play it on there, sounds interesting. Sounds something I may get. But it's about the execution of it and how much it's going to cost. And if it's going to be way overpriced because it has an Xbox sticker on it. I think the other thing too is that this console, or whatever this micro PC is going to be, is going to leave the door open for Acer, for Asus, for Lenovo, for HP to make their Windows or Xbox certified things on there. And you think Xbox fans are going to celebrate because there's an Xbox sticker on a PC now? They probably will, because they'll look for the W. But that's all that resorts to this. So one thing that goes into this whole thing to close it up is the Peter Moore interview.
Wins, and I always remember saying that.
And Peter Moore talked about, he was back in the day with all this stuff, with the 360 and all these things. And what I want to highlight before I go into his interview is that Microsoft spent over 20 years showing why Xbox was not Windows. I lived it. I watched it. I saw the struggle. They tried and fought with him at the helm, and they were successful to some extent. Because if anybody experienced the Red Ring of Death, that would have been the end of a lot of hardware platforms. And instead, Microsoft still continued to move, and people felt the need to buy another Xbox. A lot of people didn't just say, oh, Red Ring, I'm done, go to PlayStation. Some people did. But myself, I bought a whole bunch of Xboxes to compensate for the ones that I lost, because I needed that connection. I needed that library. I needed my online friends. I needed that interaction. So I didn't just skip out of town. And that's something that they built, and something that they established very strongly in the 360 generation, of making themselves, we're not big corporate bullshit Microsoft. We are actually trying to do something special for gamers. And they spent 20 years getting that identity crisis and separating themselves from Windows. And I think it's such a travesty that all that marketing, all that journey to establish yourself as a third pillar in the gaming world with Nintendo and Sony, legacy gaming, doing their stuff, and coming in and doing that, and watching how the last 5 years you basically gave all that shit up and you turned into the one thing that people never wanted, a Windows machine. And that's what they did. It's a crazy hubris travesty that they came full circle, and they fought Bill Gates tooth and nail. They did not want to put Windows on this. He just wanted a Windows Media Center on this thing. He didn't even want this thing. But then they said, what about Sony? What about the living room? And that's all they wanted. They wanted a PC in the living room. But they couldn't just put a PC in the living room. They needed to put a gaming device in the living room to compete. And now they need their competition to even justify why they exist. Craziness. Let's hear what Peter Moore had to say.
He was quoted on that. And was quoted.
I remember the reason why I asked that question is because I remember there was a
PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 flourished. And when you look back now and the numbers were immense, and I think somewhere in the region of 120 million units each. sold through, which is phenomenal for the industry. And I think that the impact of that period still exists today, of bringing all of those gamers in this somewhat of a golden period for gaming.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. The reason why I asked that question is because I remember there was a lot of like RPG games from Japan. I remember some of them first party, some of them not. Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon. I remember being at E3 when you guys made the announcement of having Final Fantasy for the first time into the platform. I go like, oh, this is looking good, So, yeah.
Yeah, look,
go for it.
Panzer Dragoon, if you remember that, and you've got
classic.
Yeah,
they made a big
what
push.
you look at, you're looking at your gamers and you're going, all right, we've got the shooter, if you will, with Halo. We absolutely, but you didn't want to be, and we always were not paranoid, but we were always conscious. You didn't want to be the shooter box. So the way it was working is you need to grab that action adventure fan. You need to go get that. Maybe there were JRPG, Japanese role-playing games. Is there an MMO that you need? And all of this, what we tried to do in particular with the launch portfolio for Xbox 360 is bring as many of those different cohorts and genres in to say, this is my box, particularly move them away from PlayStation.
No.
Wow. So you mean, Peter Moore, that this may be false?
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true.
Oh, really?
Just focused more on great games on our console, that somehow we're going to win the console race, I think doesn't really lay into the reality of our console, that somehow we're going to win the console race, I think doesn't really lay into the reality of most people.
Most people, Phil. He just said, in order to grow, you have to have something for everybody. You have to have something for everybody. We don't want to just have a one-trick pony. We don't just want to have just a shooter. He wanted to launch just with Halo, and then Halo got delayed. Isn't it crazy that Phil Spencer was launching the Series X and S with just a shooter? Halo. Peter Moore says, no, we need to get an RPG. We needed an action-adventure game. We needed this for our portfolio to make it look like we have attracted all different types of gamers. Not just a shooter gamer. And Phil Spencer was going to launch the Series X with Halo, and it wound up getting delayed, and he had no launch.
Absolutely. And you kind of started talking about just kind of where the industry is now, and I do want to touch on that, but I find it interesting that you left in 2007, because it doesn't seem like you did. It seems like you were there longer than 2007, but essentially you left Xbox, in my personal opinion, in its greatest year ever. You left it in good hands, because I think 2007,
other than the Red
Halo
Rings
3,
of Death,
BioShock.
yes.
Yeah. Well, you'd recovered from that at that point, right? You obviously made the decisions that you needed to make to recover from that. But 2007 was, and again, my opinion, probably the greatest year for Xbox. The reason I bring that up is I want to fast forward to where we are now, today, because back then, obviously, exclusive games and some of the third-party deals that were being made, like with Grand Theft Auto, were essential to get people to buy the box. So that was the box for them. Like I remember when Call of Duty, when Modern Warfare came out back then, I just thought of it as being only on Xbox, even though it was on other devices at the time. Obviously, Halo 3 was a big deal.
See, and that's what I was saying with Call of Duty. They put out a lot of marketing power. They didn't own Activision back then. They didn't own Activision, but they put the marketing power to make Call of Duty identify with Xbox. See? And now that they own Activision, they're not doing that. That's the crazy fail that Microsoft is experiencing now.
That year as well. But I want to talk about now and what Xbox is doing right now, because it is clearly controversial. It is somewhat disruptive to what they're doing. So I'm just curious of your perspective of this multi-platform strategy for Xbox, but still wanting to make hardware at the same time. What's your perspective on that?
Look, the industry has evolved, has matured. I like to think we weren't quite the pioneers, but certainly, we, I think, gave the industry credibility. We thumped our chest at what was the IDSA in the old days, the ESA, E3 in the early years, the early 2000s, was a phenomenal platform for us to get off the back pages and to get on the front pages and to be taken seriously as an entertainment medium, with cynical press who again blamed all of society's ills on video games, waste of time, creating violence, blah, 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 all of that. And we needed to do a ton of missionary work in those days. And at the same time, you know, we were young enough to have fun and do all the daft stuff that we did and all the stunts. And I think that, you know, the console wars that you're kind of alluding to were healthy for the industry. And look, I've said it before. We just, certainly I did, encourage the battle because I think gamers loved to see Xbox versus PlayStation, maybe Nintendo as well. You know, and that I think was a rising tide that lifted all ships there. It's different.
So there you go. They encouraged it. They encouraged the Xbox versus PlayStation. Remember, some guys use rubber ducks, other guys use tattoos. They encourage this stuff. And you're telling me, even to this day, Xbox Fan Fests, bringing everybody there to celebrate Xbox as the brand, that is not encouraging people that they're part of a certain team, they're part of a certain identity, a certain brand. The Fan Fest that they do, you think that, you know, you're going to wear a PlayStation shirt to that thing? That's like going into like a Philadelphia Eagles game wearing a Giants jersey. You just don't do that. It's a rally. It's a pep rally to excite people on Xbox. So that's what I mean. Like they have encouraged this mentality because it's good for business. Marketing beats. It's good to have a rally, a pep rally every year. Invite them to give them front seats to E3 presentations. That was all part of their scheme, and Phil did that up until the day that he's saying now we're putting our games on PlayStation. I don't know if they're going to do a Fan Fest this year, a Fan Fest watch party, but you see, it encouraged that because it was the verses, and it brought the best out. You saw it brought people up. It made ones want to outdo the other. It is. You're welcome, Ron M. Yes, enjoy.
Today. And when you see that, you know, look what's happened with the acquisitions or the consolidation, and what Microsoft, you know, and I still say, if they had the choice, would they make hardware? No. Would they?
That's pretty crazy.
Would they be delighted if they could be a multi-$100 billion entity delivering, you know, content directly to your television, to whatever monitor you choose to play on? You bet.
How crazy is that? He says that straight up.
It's different today. And when you see that, you know, look what's happened with the acquisitions or the consolidation, and what Microsoft, you know, and I still say, if they had the choice, would they make hardware? No. Would they be delighted if they could be a multi-$100 billion entity delivering, you know, content directly to your television, to whatever monitor you choose to play on? You bet.
And what's crazy is that he said that from his experience. He's saying he's been out of it for 7 years. And he's saying right now, if Microsoft didn't want to make hardware, they don't want to make hardware. They would love just to put their software everywhere and that's call it a day. They don't want to make hardware. He's been out of the industry for 7 years over there. Him saying that confidently that they want to get out of hardware shows that probably the struggles that he faced and what he heard around and what they went through to get the hardware built was probably not very happy. And he goes on to say how Bill Gates they just want to be in the living room, but now they just want to be everywhere, and they're not going to do it with a console that's not moving. The only way for them to try to get everybody everywhere is to just sell their shit on everything. That's what they're doing. But they wanted to get out of the hardware.
and you know, in the classically Netflix model, if you will, you just select who's playing this. 5,000 people playing this. I'm going to jump in right now. No latency, no lag. You're in.
Yeah, that's execution,
and
though.
There doesn't need to be a box between you and your controller and the TV set. But still, you know, consoles are, as we're seeing, particularly with Nintendo now, people love their hardware. You know, the acquisition of Activision Blizzard changed things, I think, I know at Microsoft. And so this is not the old days of the console wars and punching each other and trying to steal customers and trying to get market share and build your attach rate. Right. This is bigger than that in an economic sense. Has it lost a little bit of the feistiness that the industry, I think, fed upon and grew upon? I think so. Yeah, I mean, and look, I've been gone from the industry 8 years. You know, I left EA to go to Liverpool in 2017, so it's been a long time. Do I yearn for the old days? Do I look back fondly to when things crop up in my social media feed of this was you 15 years ago, and you see great photos of things at E3? Yeah, but I think we as an industry then position the industry for where it is now. It's different, and yeah, what Microsoft is doing is no longer we're going to get as much content on our singular platform and the PC, and we're going to fight for that, and we're going to pay for that, and we're not going to give it to anybody else. And you know, those days are clearly over, as you can see.
And they can't, and then they lost on that thing.
The PC,
they lost on that stuff, and that's what he's saying. And you know what's interesting is that when I listen to this, he doesn't say they are better now. He never says that it's better. You could actually hear it in his mannerisms and his voice. You could hear that gusto. He said that feistiness. They lost that. And he says it's always good to look back and see that stuff, but he never says that today and the way things are, it's better. Like, he even talks about the consolidation and talking about how it just sounds like he's kind of bummed out. I don't know if you get the sense of that stuff, but I got the sense watching it that he's kind of like, he's kind of bummed out that they spent so hard fighting tooth and nail and how this ABK deal. And that's why I just let it play out, because I think he's alluding to that history there kind of put them now in this position, but he's really kind of upset, I feel. He's just bummed out. He's like that fight, that yearning to compete. It's not there anymore. And he says he knows that from that ABK deal, they changed. He knows. And actually, you could see it, because before that ABK deal, Phil went in there and said, Starfield's exclusive. Redfall's exclusive. Just lock it down. Stop making the PlayStation versions. Only in a year to turn it around and saying, okay, guys, here comes the frosted glass shipment. Everybody were making PlayStation games behind the frosted glass. When they went around the year before and told people to stop making the PlayStation games. You got the Redfall dev saying, don't make PlayStation games. Pete Hines saying, well, when was it exclusive? When they bought us. And now, after that ABK deal, they completely changed. And he said it's not about getting people, because they don't have that anymore. They don't have that stuff. But he says people love their hardware. See, that's the thing where I think it kind of bit them in the ass, because I think when Paris was asking a question, he just wanted him to kind of lush over like, oh, it's different now, and it's not about a hardware anymore. It's about putting it. No, if you listen to what he's saying, he basically is like, for Microsoft, they would love not to make hardware and just put their shit everywhere. But people still love their hardware. He brings up Nintendo. He says they still love their hardware, as you can see. So he's not saying hardware and that box that goes under your TV is something that's antiquated or the old school way of thinking things. He never dismisses that that consoles don't need to exist. He basically says, no, people still love their hardware. That's what he says. People still love their hardware. So he don't dismiss the console, but he basically says that it's a Microsoft problem. They don't want to make hardware. They don't want to. And that's the whole point of the whole thing. Like, they don't want to make hardware.
And Microsoft was not an entertainment company, and it was our job to get it in the living room. You know, in simple terms, the concern was, again, you look at it now and you kind of scratch your head that Sony was going to own the living room. You know, they had music, they had cameras, they had televisions, you know, the Trinitron. I mean, you think about it. Now, today it's different. And competition from all over the world. In Sony's case, Samsung and LG pounding on them at one end, Microsoft coming at them on the other end. You know, kind of a pincer movement that squeezed them. But we Microsoft, were worried that we would be forever relegated to the office or maybe your laptop on your desk, but would never, ever have a ticket to the living room. And, you know, that's where, and Bill was always, you know, pounding on the desk of this was we need to get into that living room. And it was very clear once high def was coming in and the graphical quality of what we were delivering at that time, blowing people away. When I think of Gears of War and Cameo and, you know, again, 15, 18 years ago, whatever we are, 18 years ago, it's just, these were things, and just an example, you know, Best Buy were calling for our demo units into the TV section because the Xbox 360 was the only device at that moment that was delivering high definition content. So they were showing off their high def TVs with games like Cameo. You know, Gears of War would have been a little rough in the TV section, but you know, Cameo certainly fit that bill. So yeah, I mean, look, it's a different industry. The stakes are higher, and technology continues. That ever-flowing river of technology continues to flow, and it's a different time and a different place. So different business models have evolved.
And you keep saying different, not better. Because that's what they'll spin it as. That's what they go put on X. They go, oh, Microsoft is better now than they were. There is no better. It's different. And it's different in a way that they no longer care about the living room anymore because they lost the living room. So Bill Gates, you want to own the living room, you lost the living room. And what's so interesting is that they didn't want to be regulated to laptops and PCs. Don't you think it's funny that now that's where the destiny of Xbox is going to be? An Xbox app on a micro PC or a laptop or a portable PC. So basically the PC form factor has changed, but basically they fought years to try to become an entertainment company to be in that living room, and now they didn't want to be just on an office desk, on a PC, and that's now where Xbox is going to live, on a PC, as a little Xbox sticker. That's why I said this is goddamn poetic. This is ultimate hubris. It is crazy. They did the thing that they were against. See, that's why I don't think a lot of PlayStation fans understand. If you were an Xbox fan during this time, if you like rode this green wave and realized under him and watching that 360 and seeing what it did and watch the messaging and what they were doing, they were just fighting to get GTA day one. They were fighting just to get Final Fantasy on their platform on the same day as PlayStation, because in the original Xbox, PlayStation 2 just got these games. Nobody put it on there. It was always like timed exclusives. They fought the 360 generation. It wasn't really about exclusives. It was about getting games the same day that Sony got them. That was the win. Sad to say, but that was a W. Because as an Xbox owner, you just waited for those games to be on PlayStation, and then you waited for it to be on Xbox. So when they went out in the 360 era and they were making games day one, you're like, yo, we hit it. We are now one of them. We're one of the big three. We're part of the PlayStation and Nintendo. We're part of it. We made it. We're now an equivalent. We're relevant. This platform is something that may be here for the time being. And to watch it after all that fighting to get to relevancy and say we're not big bad Microsoft, to watch them just turn into big bad Microsoft and I mean bad in they suck, in delivery and quality. It's crazy. They fought tooth and nail to get into the living room and not be resorted to PCs. And that's where Xbox is going. That's why I can't imagine people that went through the 360 era sit here and go, oh, it's great. It's wonderful. Dude, it's exactly what they never wanted Xbox to be. And Phil Spencer himself never wanted Xbox to be this. He wanted exclusives. We have Phil talking about exclusives, and exclusives of marketing beats. So don't tell me that Phil changed the narrative. No, Phil was riding that same ship of Peter Moore. But he failed, made bad decisions, bad business, bad games, bad messaging. And that has put them at ground zero again. And needing the thing they fought against to save them. Man, oh man, somebody better write a song. Maybe I will.
25. It's coming.
And yeah, if you'd have told me that you know, stuff that would be owned by a first party would show up on other platforms, that would be contrary to the fight that we were battling at that time.
You know what?
There it is. And then he says something at the end here.
The value of social media. Look, I think a certain
It
development.
was a good interview. But those are the kind of the main points I wanted to highlight there. And then the other thing, you know, speaking about past Microsoft executives, and I know this was from some time ago, but I never kind of covered. But to kind of put it with Peter Moore, I wanted to get the this one here from Ybarra, another former Microsoft executive, speaking about the current Microsoft strategy as well. And let me see. Yeah, where is it here? I know it was from a while back here. But you see with Peter Moore, like, that's the thing. Like, you know, it's shocking that let's see. Oh, hey, I'll just use this. I thought I had it there. Let me see if I get there. Yep, here it is. Let me just see if this was the one. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if that was what Ybarra said, where he's like, this doesn't call any surprise. Like these executives are saying, like, this is basically, and I bet you a lot of these executives, dude, must have heard a lot of this, and they kind of fought this. And now they're kind of seeing like, yep, that's what they want. Just like what he says, like, you want them to, they wanted to get out of the hardware business and stop making consoles. Of course they would. And the fact that he says that with such confidence, the fact that he says that with such confidence shows that, like, he must have been fighting for them he must have been fighting to justify why they still needed to make hardware. And he's like, yeah, of course they would want to get out of that. And it just kind of shows that, like, that's why a lot of these executives that left, they're like, yeah, well, we saw the writing on the wall. We knew this. We knew that this is exactly what they wanted to do, and we fought against it. I want to see if I had him. Yeah, I had the Ybarra tweet there. He's a double agent. That's right, Mod. Mike Ybarra is a double agent. He is. Wait, I got it here. Let me see if I can find it for a second. Bear with me quickly, grinders. Let me see. Yep, there it is. So, this is what he said. He says you have to put emotion aside and focus on the team's plays and business and make hard decisions. Jabbar said, given the size of Microsoft Gaming now, it's just not sustainable to not be embracing all platforms. They are taking their players on this journey, and that is not easy, but it's the right plan for the teams. But I wanted to see the ones with the hardware because he said something else. Let's see if I can find that one. Yeah. In 2024, he said that either you double down on exclusives, bolster hardware, or go all in as a multi-platform publisher. He leaned towards the latter, noting that Game Pass potential mirrors Netflix's success, only achievable if it's unbound from proprietary hardware. And that's basically what it is. It's basically that. It's basically that you either double down on exclusives or go all in as a multi-platform publisher. But what's crazy is that as going in with the multi-platform publisher, they're still trying to sell a platform. You know, that's like EA or Ubisoft trying to still sell some sort of hardware or some sort of subscription of some sort of platform for their stuff. Some sort of like I don't know. Like, and think about it. Look at EA Play. Look at Ubisoft Connect. Like, are they banking Ubisoft and EA? Are they racking in the money on EA Play and Ubi? No, that's just an option. And what's crazy is that EA Play, they don't even have the EA Play Ultimate on the consoles. You know, you buy it on PC, you get all the games, you get their games day one, full versions of them. Same thing with Ubisoft. You have only the PC, you get their subscription gives you all their games day and date. But on consoles, it's not there. So if that's their platform, it's very limiting. They're not growing and making more people play their games. They're isolating it only on PC. So if that's a strategy and it doesn't look like it's working, like how does Microsoft expect it to work? Craziness. But grinders, it's insane. But there's your show for this evening, grinders. I got through them all. My voice is still intact. And according to the chat goal, did it get everybody's chat here? Let me see. I think we're too short for the goal. Listen to the song. But grinders, you want, I'll keep it on for a little bit if we want to get a couple more, hit that goal, and then we'll get that song. Let me get that song ready because I know we're gonna hit it. But Josh says, interesting, it's only PC. Does that mean PC players don't buy as many games? Well, I think that there's a lot of competition out there, and I think that they make their bread and butter on the console, like especially with Madden and things like that. So I think that that's probably why. Like the cannibalization effect of subscription gaming. Everybody seems to be aware of it except Phil Spencer and Microsoft. What's wrong? Oh, is it wrong? Hold on, I'll check it. The real jazz never fails to come through. Dude, we're gonna do it. Let me actually, you know what? Let me bring this up. I'm getting the song. Let me just get him here. See, we got Hoctuz. I don't know this stupid goal thing. We got all these seeks from Sign My Ass. Everybody, thanks Sign My Ass. He got us the music. And so Waleed Baldante, shout out to him. We're playing the song. I don't know what the stupid YouTube counter is. I'm counting them now. We hit the goal. God damn, screw YouTubes. We're going to be playing it. Grinders, hit that like button. Tattooed Promises. New song. Game of Grinders. Enjoy. Here it comes. Hit that like button, Grinders. And here we go. New song release. Tattooed Promises. Oh, stop with that stupid thing. Man, my effects.
25. It's coming.
Hit that like button. Thank you again, grinders. Good night. Oh, yeah.
Theft Auto. Tattooed promises in the corporate air, turning heads with moves so rare. From consoles to wars to a bold new game, Xbox shifting, but who's to blame? The cheeky grin, the 360 buzz, let the fight begin. He built empires on silicone sand. Now whispers say they'll leave hardware's land. Tattooed promises in the corporate air, turning dreams into a brand to dare. From consoles to wars to ambitions vast, is the future here or just the past? Peter Moore, the legend fades, from inked skin to shifting shades. A chapter turns, but hearts still yearn for the fire that made those consoles.
Xbox, no. Build this. Well.
Tattooed promises in the corporate air, a legacy born on a lightning dare. From consoles to wars to the unknown wide, is Xbox ready for the other side?
Gaming Grindhouse music!
It's coming.
Where the box is in the name of our brand.
Thank you again, Grinders. Good night. Hit that like button. Oh, man, my reverb was on. Hit that like button. Share it out. Subscribe if you're new. Also, if you are a VIP, if you do get the Ultimate Grinder upgrade, there is a music video to go with that song. So I hope you enjoy there. Your Ultimate Grinders, VIPs, listen to some music coming your way, and keep it locked here at the Gaming Grindhouse. Thanks again, everybody. Good night. Oh, wait. I got one more super chat I forgot to read. I'm not leaving yet. It was one more. I saw it. Waleed is a game cat, specifically a white tiger with the $2. I forgot. VR showcase tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. PS5 eating good VR showcase. I'll be watching that. Thank you so much, Waleed. I appreciate it. Not going to let you go, man.
25. It's coming.
VR show tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully we see some awesome PlayStation VR games, and I'll put it on my next show. So thank you again, Grinders. Hit that like button. Thank you again, Waleed, and all the members, all the super chats. Shout out to everybody about Dante, Claymores, Sign My Ass, Iconic Games, Twisted Sin, Michael Moran, Kazakh Hero, X Hawk 2, Spit on That Thing, JC, and Ron M, and Michael Meridian. Thank you again, everybody. Good night.
Don't play.